Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi's down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught.
Don't lie.
Well, stats do, but Nahaz does not.
Well,
We had this discussion yesterday. I can't make the same joke twice.
but Nahaz also says that stats are easily you can lie with stats. The stats can be true, but
Yes,
you can tell.
which is true. And I just said Nahaz is not lying, so him saying that is true.
Am I the only one who learned in school that if a graph doesn't have like the y and x axis end at the same point, it's a fake stat graph? Like if you're trying to show like, I don't know, the fluctuation in like win rate, but instead of starting at 0, you start at like 50%, and then it looks like it goes down, but it's really just going to 40. So you have like a line like this, but it's really just like this much.
No, that is literally, that doesn't mean that it's fake. It just means that you have to read what it says on the graph.
But that's misleading. Now I have to look into the numbers and the detail instead of just saying,
you always need to do
down.
that. You gotta read what it says. You can't just assume. I don't know. I feel like that is a very weird thing to, like, it's not a lie. It's just different.
It's
part of the
deliberately
graph.
misleading.
I just feel it, for me at least, it's much easier to see the numbers instead of a graph. Like, what's this? It's much easier to read the
I
numbers.
agree with that too.
Okay, Sheaves, is not telling the truth the same as lying.
But it is the truth.
But it's not the whole truth. And nothing but
That is what you sound like.
The graph. But
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah, Liquid's looking solid. Wait, that's ice. That's all I got.
well, great panel with these guys. I'm sure that the draft panel.
Dyer's turn to pick.
What more could I possibly have to add?
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds. Radiant must choose. Dyer's turn to pick. Tiny. seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to pick. Mars. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Dire's turn to ban.
You have a really good laning stage, and then or you don't have it, and if you don't have it, the game is just awful.
These are not the percentages that I typically associate with Spearbreaker. I'm saying 17% of the time you're having a great time.
Okay, 17% is the pro. It's 71 sometimes, but I get it. Jug picked up on Viking. Now this is a hero that we don't see way too often at all, but it's picked up mostly for Phoenix as well. You have that built in BKB.
It's a reactionary pick where you get to cover it with now the 3 bans because you're a second pick and you see Mars Phoenix.
So my question would be, why the Juggernaut as opposed to a Lifestealer who also has that inbuilt spell immunity?
Your lane is a little bit stronger first and foremost versus the Mars. You don't really care about that work. You can rush him down with the spin if you get something like a Grimstroke with you, or which has been banned actually. Team Liquid have banned it already. If you get any good combo, Mars is threatened. He's not completely free to do whatever he wants on that lane. And in my personal opinion, I think Jug is a little bit stronger right now, overall as a hero.
Really?
In terms of itemization, you're a little bit more free, and also you gotta respect the healing ward. When you think about when you leave laning phase, what's your kind of impact in the mid game? If you're kind of barreling around together being super aggressive, which Viking is, that healing ward has a lot more value. So if you compare the life delivery Juggernaut just feels more into their playstyle.
Which would be what, more push oriented or more team fight oriented?
Yeah, exactly. It's the being able to push, to team fight, and to
anything grouping up.
Exactly. It ticks all the boxes, right?
So. Yeah, that's fair.
But you want to push and you want to team fight, but you're already playing versus the Phoenix and the Mars. You can see one team has a significant advantage already. Now, another good thing about Jug here is that he's not threatened by the arena, and Phoenix has to be really careful where he plants that egg. He won't be able to just plant it right outside or inside and be safe, right? So this team fight from Liquid looks solid, but execution really has to be crisp.
I'd like to think people need to really look at Mars in this game, because we've seen how itemization of Mars that also has changed a little bit, where before you'd go like straight blink dagger, right? Or you go like phase flags, but now people are going for like a Yules or that first aura, and then going for blink when they're kind of getting to that 20-25 minute mark instead.
Yeah. We're talking a lot about what they picked. We came into the draft just a little bit too late. The bans are also very significant when it comes to these two teams. You can see the Lone Druid obviously banned out by Viking GG. That's Koikwa, that's Team Liquid. But I want to mention the Sven. I think this hero has always been the answer to Jug. Like that's the way to play versus Jug. You pick the Sven, you farm faster than him, you have that built-in cleave. You force the Jug to either think about playing in a very aggressive way with the item builds, or to match your farming speed with Battle Fury. And both of those things can fail. Like if your Battle Fury is too late, Sven out-farms you. If you go for the early aggression item builds, Sven still out-farms you if you don't do enough early on.
Does Viking just not go like Undying here against the double strength off lane?
Or Timbersaw maybe?
So basically, Timbersaw is like a trap card where anyone looking at draft, they go, oh, 3-4 strength heroes, let's go for Timbersaw. But then you still miss out on the fundamentals of how we actually win in the game. Like, sure, we get to pressure here, but...
No, Undying sounds great, but it looks like Viking GG, they're going back to the Wisp strats.
Okay.
This is usually, from them at least, a support Wisp. I haven't seen them play it as a core yet. Maybe I missed the game, but I think it's most exclusively been a support.
Yeah, it's been a support, yeah.
So now, not only do you have this Jug to deal with the egg, you have Wisp that's able to relocate targets out of the arena, and you have Wisp that's going to be overcharging a target and attacking that egg together with it. So you have some pretty neat things here. Sadly for Viking, they've banned out the Darkseer themselves, who would have been such an amazing pickup with the Wisp and the Tiny.
Quickly doing some research. I want to find out if any of the Viking players have played IO Core in their pubs real quick in the last day or two, just to, you know.
They played core players, yeah. I'm not sure. Not sure about core players, but OG have played it, obviously, and people are picking up. Okay, so Team Liquid, they follow up with a Bane. This is your Insania to-go hero. Wait just a second, Spirit Breaker as well. Okay, still Tiny, most likely the core, but going back to the Bane, this is one of those heroes that you want to play with Wisp, right? But when you're playing against him, it can come in handy pretty well. Plus you have that BKB piercing ultimate grip versus the Juggernaut.
What is it about the Bane and IO that you like together typically?
So when you're playing Wisp and Bane, you have this setup across the map. You can sleep into relocate or grip into relocate. So taking that away is pretty neat. But also having the Bane against something like that can be pretty solid. You can sleep one target, grip the other, which isn't that bad at all.
I'm just really afraid for Liquid right now, where we've seen Viking time and time again, where they have these super aggressive heroes flooding the map non-stop. The Spirit Breaker, look at it less as a hero that has instant impact, but more in the early 10-15 minute marks. His charges, they connect, you force that one TP up, you open up the map for that core in the side lane to still farm because there's less pressure. So it's just such a way in which they play the Spirit Breaker, which opens up the game. And Liquid, now they have a Void Spirit. The rest of the heroes aren't really that good at reacting quickly around the map, and they're very slow. They like to play big fights, but if they take skirmishes, I feel like these guys are going to be very locked into their cooldowns.
Yeah, and Viking GG, they're completely about skirmishes. When you look at these four heroes, that's exactly what they want to be doing constantly. Team Liquid's draft looks slow.
It does.
Like T Governor said, it looks slow and it looks easily stretched apart the map,
but still scary once it gets to its point, right?
I would say still scary, but has less to make mistakes.
So you mentioned that there's a variety of ways that you can itemize on a Juggernaut. Seeing as now we see that it's going to be paired with an IO, seeing as how Viking most likely want to take advantage of the cooldown dependency and kind of slowness of Team Liquid, are you expecting to see a Battle Fury Juggernaut, or you want something more combat oriented?
I'm not
all out fight.
Okay,
all out
so
fight.
Sange and Yasha maybe?
Yeah, pretty much. Just fight early on. You don't really have to go for that late game potential. Let's still see what the last pick will be from Team Liquid. That might switch things up a little bit when it comes to the item build, because that's what you're looking for most of the time. It's not only your hero, it's who you're
and we're looking for a Mike one position carry on the side of Liquid, who will be trying to go head to head versus the Juggernaut in the late game. Which you had mentioned the Sven, which has been banned out actually.
Yeah, Sven is banned out, that's true. Spectre, AM, Sven, Void, Lone Druid, everything. What's left? Terrorblade
and Morphling?
And Morphling, exactly, like for Mike, those two heroes.
But again, these heroes still aren't good under the amount of pressure that Viking have. It's good for that kind of 25-minute timing when they kind of survive. Oh, there's Morphling. Yay.
It's two heroes, literally, that Mike plays that are left in the pool. Like that you see
heads
from
or
them.
tails.
That you see them picking. I like the Morph a bit more than the TB as well. I think it's pretty solid. Maybe TB would give you that extra tower pushing capabilities early on, which they're lacking. Like when it comes to taking objectives, Team Liquid is going to struggle. They need to take good fights, eliminate Viking GG, and then take objectives.
Yeah, exactly that. I think what you want to look out for is simply how does Liquid react to that early aggression? Can they actually defend the correct towers with enough force that they can push away Viking for long enough that their spells come back up.
Right.
If they can do that for like 20 or so minutes, then I think they're in a good shot. Their draft is scary, but
This Vikings draft just looks like it counters Team Liquid at its essence. Like the way they drafted, it just looks so solid. Now I still value Team Liquid as the better team out of the two, the team that has had more history, that has proven themselves versus tier 1 teams multiple times in a row, while Viking GG, they're still upcomers. They only recently just qualified here. Still though, when it comes to draft, Viking GG, they've got what it takes.
There are oftentimes, though, whenever you go for a fast-paced draft, that you can't afford to make very many mistakes. How much room for error does Viking have in this draft?
well, it all boils down to can they kill the Morphling, because they don't really actually have the heroes to blow him up. They're relying mainly on Boom on the mid-tiny, potentially, to have a really standout game and just catch the Morphling off. If the Morphling gets to his items, then he can pretty much like 1v9 this game just from playing behind the amount of damage that Liquid will be able to soak up in these fights. So
even though the draft is Viking favored, given competitive history, unsurprisingly, EGB.com odds favoring Liquid, you'd be hard pressed to go against that, but still things are looking good for Viking.
They really are, and you can say that Morphling is the ultimate win condition in this game, but there are ways that you can itemize on the side of Viking GG later on, perhaps a Skadi on this jug that can work out well for them. You have some catch, right, in the form of Spirit Breaker and Tiny, but is it enough catch for the Morphling? I wouldn't say so. Can you execute well and make it work? You can.
And Liquid has the wave clear to be able to, if the game is difficult and they need to go for recovery mode, they have the heroes to keep those waves pushed out and play across the map without needing to always react instantly to Viking's aggression. So yeah, I think Liquid have the mechanisms to keep themselves in the game long enough to get into it, and I think it's going to be a pretty close game.
Well, then let's see if Viking can pull off a Game 1 upset as we start the day and send it over to the casters.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, Viking GG up against Team Liquid. I'm Pixel here with Fog. We've just seen the drafts, as sort of pointed out by the panel there. A lot of counter picks from Viking GG. Does that necessarily mean that their draft is better, though?
Man. I'm just seeing like no team fight on the side of Viking, which really concerns me, especially with the way that we've seen most of these games played. It tends to come down to those big team fights rather than just going for these pickoff things. However, Viking, they did draft very fast tempo.
Okay.
Very quick pickoffs and lane dominance. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing them do, because I think if they make too many mistakes in the laning phase, I don't see them winning team fights versus Liquid, and then I see two elusive cores versus some tough heroes to actually catch them, right? Void Spirit and Morphling versus like Spirit Breaker and Tiny. If they get ahead on Spirit Breaker and Tiny, maybe you can catch, but if they start falling behind, very hard to kill those two heroes.
Sure. Definitely a lot of heroes coming out from Viking that they're very familiar with, right? This is a team that they do like running this IO. The Spirit Breaker, for example, still playing with the Jug, a carry that some other teams will try and stray away from. And even in this draft, we saw the confidence picking it as early as the second pick in the draft. So they're going to be very comfortable. At the same time, that pick towards the end from Liquid, the classic Mickey Morphling, does it look like a game where a few slip-ups from Viking, this Morph is going to be able to win the late?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's versus Spirit Breaker IO as the two supports, right? So it's very tough. They can itemize in order to deal with him, but even then, their toolkit naturally is very weird versus Morphling, right? Like if Spirit Breaker gets a quick, like let's say a Vessel, or he gets like Halberd or stuff like this, it can mess with the Morphling, but that's never going to change the fact that this Morphling doesn't have to play versus a Silence or any of these quick stuns that get on top of him. You can see when Spirit Breaker is charging you. You can see when Spirit Breaker is ulting you for the most part in a lot of the situations. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it turns out. I think that Liquid also, this is like comfort.
By the Liquid lineup, but the counters could shake it up enough. You know, you do have these two heroes, you've got the Jug and the Marana.
Yep.
They can find themselves in position where they can sort of maneuver around what usually is a great protection for the egg, the Mars Arena, and still take that egg down. So, you know, even though they have that strong team fight on paper, we could see Viking GG mess that up each time.
Yep. And okay, so core Marana for Toby. So their cores are Mirana, Tiny, and Jug. So like we were saying, fast pace. This is really just all about brute force aggression. And with Aramis playing his Spirit Breaker, he's one of, I think he's actually like one of the best Spirit Breakers I've seen in the last 12 months or so. Most people kind of just feed on this hero. He's had some pretty good showings on it. So I'm interested to see what they happen.
For the first blood here, as Insania has been caught out.
Oh, they didn't give it to their Tiny. They should have. He threw the tree for it.
Oh no, Toby there with a kill steal.
Good start. I mean, exactly what they need to be doing. Playing very, very aggressive, hyper aggressive. First good move by them. 2 sentries bought right at the start here by Liquid. Not something you see too often, but you can see that they want to ensure that the lane is decent for them. So blocking the pole camp bottom, they're going to be running a relatively aggro lane, and then checking out for that mid ward.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of lane matchups they're going to get. At the moment, Mickey is going to be starting top in that safe lane, and up there we're going to have Toby farming against him as the Mirana. Down bottom, Bo3 alongside Tiger, that Mars Phoenix, going to do their best to try and pressure the farm of the Jug early on. I mean, down here, the Jug, he shouldn't die against these heroes, right? He's always going to have the Blade Fury to live. And if anything, you know, dive in the wrong place or Boxy getting a little too close after, especially like the level 3s hit 2 points in Blade Fury, they've got a little bit of kill potential, Viking GG.
Absolutely, that's what we were saying. Like, they drafted for their lanes, right? This top lane can put pressure on too. Bane, he's the king of lanes, as we always say, king of those dual lanes. But they have a Morphling in the lane too, who it can be a bit weak at the first few levels, especially versus these 2 aggressive heroes. So yeah, I'm liking the way they set up their lanes, and they got them set up for the time being. I don't think Liquid's really going to change or adapt anything, because I think they're okay with these lanes too. It's not amazing for them, but it's not bad. They're still going to get farm. Taiga's going to start pulling the wave bottom so that it's not Mars playing in the IO.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what sort of item build Toby goes for on the offlane Mirana. Like, as a core, you going for the right click? I mean, or do you start to build up those auras? Because the thing is, you do have an IO, right? So eventually Soleri can be the one that gets the
whoa, mid. Oh my god, is he just at it? Oh.
That remnant nearly brought him down, but not quite getting the connection. Quite for still, though. Heavy pressure on Boom, and he's only down to his last pull tango. Still on cooldown for 25 seconds, so dying, but still very low now, and having to keep a good distance away from quite for bottom lane. Shad and Soleri bringing Boxy rather low, but Boxy's fine. He's kitted out for this. Still 4 tangos to roll in the lane.
Oh no, Boom in mid though. He got double creep waved, and look at the denies. Koifa is just destroying the lane off of the first two levels already. That is a big problem already. And bottom too, I think they got the spear. They're going for the kill onto Shad.
Oh, and he hasn't got Blade Fury. He's already used it. And earlier, a bit of a fight that went on.
Look at the positioning of the lane that Liquid's kind of forced here because of this. And now they're denying experience away from the tower too. Big moves here from Liquid in that mid and bottom lane. I can't believe what happened in mid. I'd have to see the level 1 again and what happened with the block, because it looked like Koifa must have just gotten a better block and just able to nuke and double up the creep wave on the Tiny, and Boom just had to have gotten there late. It just makes it difficult. Aramis gets the bash. Trying for another. Give it to him.
Oh, Toby trying for the courier.
Ooh, nice save.
Yeah, we'll be able to make sure that Mickey's courier is able to walk away. How are we doing on the regen? Boom, digging the bottle out, so back up to full HP with the free charges, and has also got himself a salve ready for any further harassment. But yeah, quite fair. He
hasn't missed the last hit.
Yeah, and he's also seeing full HP, and he's yet to use any of his bottle charges, so in a very good place in that mid matchup. Top lane, so he managed to get the chase down onto Insania. He'll turn with a Nightmare onto Toby, as that will be enough for him to get back underneath the tower. Also has the salve, and playing with the double fairy fires too, so
yeah,
ready to try and bait Viking GG and him.
Oh man, they set themselves up to have some decent lanes, but it does not look like that is happening at all at the moment.
Yeah, Shad's struggling.
That is a concern. As we said, they have to be playing pretty much ahead in this game versus this Liquid draft. Not gonna find Insania either up here.
Yeah, committing with the triple leaps. Not enough to stay on top of the Bane. Insania just outplaying there, keeping himself alive. easily with the Fairy Fires. And Mickey's farm continues to look very nice here. 17-9 against Toby's 11-1 in this top lane.
They have not been able to apply pressure, and now this is where Morphling kind of just starts to take over the lane. He's going to hit level 4, and that's where it becomes very difficult. They have to start making some adaptation, so it's going to be around this 4-minute rune timing.
Let's see where the spawn's going to be. It is going to be bottom, so Aramis won't be able to stop Quakefur from getting the refill, and it's that beautiful double damage rune for Quakefur, especially when he's a few waves away from hitting the 6. He's able to get that Astral Step online with the DD still in the bottle. That is insane kill potential on the Void Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he can go to any lane.
Yeah.
As soon as he has level 6, I think he can TP top or TP bottom, and anybody's a kill. Even the Jug, if he plays too far up, can get chased down pretty quickly from those double Astrals. Yeah, big starts here for Liquid in this laning phase. I thought that Viking would have a different type of preparation, some type of movements to at least secure their lanes a bit better, but that one death bottom really hurts, and then that mid-wave, that double mid-wave changes everything. Already off to a tough start here. Checking these bounty runes. Looks like this will be the rotation, maybe Boom tries to join up with his team here. Tiny Spirit Breaker can set up a lot of kills early on, these two together. If they're able to find the opportunities, though, which is seeming to be difficult.
So down bottom. Celery taking quite the harassment here. Whoa, oh, Bo3 there. Beautiful. Catches him mid-tether as he comes flying across with the arrow.
Uh-oh, mid now too. Boom. He's just dead. Double Astrals with DD.
Yeah, that's going to do it. That sort of DD early on, incredibly potent. Top lane, they're charging onto Mickey. He's under the tower, but
he's fine.
Yeah, these two heroes are just never going to be able to kill the Morphling unless Mickey makes a massive error.
Oh boy, oh, and this might be a rough game for Viking. Off of this laning start falling, it says less than 1k gold behind, but you can just feel how dominant Liquid is being in this lane. Look at their levels, like level 5 on Mars, that carries level 4. Everybody is just having a spectacular start. Level 7 on Void Spirit, level 5 on Tiny.
Down in the river, 6-minute runes up. Again, the spawn's going to be bottom.
Okay.
Does mean that Liquid will be able to control that for themselves, as Quakefur will be able to go and grab it. They're going to try and set up on Aramis first. He's pretty tanky as the Spirit Breaker, so not a kill they'll be able to finish off.
No, has a raindrop as well, so it'll be just fine. Toby top is going to continue laning versus Mickey, but if you said Mickey's chilling. He's on full free farm mode. Hasn't really had any pressure onto him at all. He's salving, or he's healing up there, but there is a charge coming through. Maybe they catch him off guard, but pretty unlikely.
And we see, so the build from Toby on the offlane Mirana will be rushing the Spirit Vessel for the team.
Okay, I mean, they do want one. For certain. That'll be the pretty good timing pickup too, because he's the core hero.
Yeah, and no sort of supports on, or heroes on Liquid's lineup that offer any sort of dispel, so the Vessel charges are going to be strong offensively. I'm just eyeing up Mickey, but again, just such a hard lane for Aramis to try and play into. Chances of catching Mickey low on the HP are already very slim, and anytime that Insania is around, a quick nightmare just stops the aggression.
I mean, Toby might just die here. Charge is going to come through to try to help. It's got raindrops as well. He'll be okay. Now Aramis, though, taking a beating.
And they get the arrow, and onto Insania. Again, another Fairy Fire will keep Insania alive.
The raindrops. It saves Toby again. Okay.
I mean, they're not dying, at least up here, but still they're not slowing down Mickey's farm. You continue to see the 7 minutes in all three of Liquid's cores. It's as if they haven't even had any contest in the lane. They've just got complete free farm.
And full rune control, too. Look at Quakefur, a haste in his bottle. We have another rune spawning in 8 seconds. Just, they have all the freedom in the world. They even get the first D-ward there on that high ground in mid. And Quakefur gets another one. They're blessed right now.
Every single rune.
Even the Dota gods are on Liquid's side right now in these first 8 minutes.
We'll see what Quakefur can do with the remaining duration of this phase. He's already a little low. He's caught out there now as he's underneath the vision of that creep coming over to the camp.
And Shad, every time he tries to get a setup onto Taiga, just quickly dives away. Maybe Boom. This might be a rotation. You can catch Taiga. Oh yeah, this should be a good one for them here.
Let's see what they can do here. They come in with the combo, Viking GG. They get the get the kill onto Tiger. So some action now being found by Boom with these movements.
I think this is what he has to do. I think just start going full aggressive on the Tiny, just looking to rotate for these kills when people are playing too far up. You have to be careful though, because Void Spirit can match that aggression easily with those Astral Steps, but I do think he has to try to salvage these side lanes a little bit here. Great warding coming out from Team Liquid, very aggressively positioned. You see the bottom wards so that they can watch the movements coming out, and also the wards watching up here. These type of wards are just, anytime you can get wards closer to the enemy base versus Spirit Breaker, you always can just, Aramis charges, you see him charging through these wards, you can see the setup easy. Sell it away. We'll burn away.
Quakefoot. It's going to come past the tower. Not really too much you can do to threaten Shad, but Shad just having to play so careful here, hiding behind the tower. Mid lane, Boom and Aramis in onto Insania.
He's got a raindrop.
It's not enough between the two of them. The setup from the Nightmare will be there to skewer a Spirit Breaker right underneath the tower, but still very beefy as the Spirit Breaker. No damage here to kill him off. Aramis will be able to walk away. Boom tries to come in and find Insania with that last avalanche, but Insania will live.
Oof. Not even able to get the kill on the Bane. 10 minutes. Let's see if they can set up a Rooney or Shad. We'll get involved here, Mickey. We'll get the Strength Morph off.
They'll try and run him down a bit, but not really too much hope in trying to commit for this Morphling. With these heroes, they just don't have any answer for Mickey right now. Not until at least they have the Spirit Vessel. Then maybe more of an opportunity for them to make those plays.
Maybe some slight, yeah. It's still, like we said, tough. No silences, very limited disables versus a Morphling. It's a really good last pick Morphling game. He had so many plays there. He could have turned into Mirana, could have turned into Jug and spun away, leaps, etc. He was just fine. Boom. Again, looking for Insania.
Insania's got backup though. Right there. Box is able to walk in, drop the arena down onto the two of them. He spears the Tiny up to the tower. Quakefoot's in as well with the Resonant Pulse damage, splitting them apart. Dive forward from the Phoenix as they stay on top of Boom. Boom will get the toss back onto Quakefoot. So Celery will go down, but Boom himself, will he live the Sun Ray? Is it enough? It's not. Boom will get away. They get the kill on Tiger because of that dive attempt with the Sun Ray.
Oh,
charge over onto Quakefoot. He's low on mana. Viking, they're going to be able to pick up the Void Spray on top of it. They jump forward. Toby, he's looking for Insania. Mickey's going to turn into the Mirana, try and play back into the face of Toby. As Toby on the retreat. Mickey back into the Morphling form, beating onto Aramis, but not enough damage from him to get either of these kills. So Viking actually able to punch back relatively hard there. Top lane as well. Omni Slash onto Boxy. Can they finish this kill off? They can't. Boxy's able to turn in time with a spear. The Sunray damage not enough to outdo the heals of Celery. The dive forward is going to be attempted. He goes for the super, but Shad, he just pops the Blade Fury, easily takes down the egg. As Viking GG, they're getting some big kills here as they really start to pull themselves back into this game.
I feel like they're getting handed some kills here from Team Liquid. Taiga twice overplaying his hand, once in the mid lane, then up top. Both of them end up dying. I think they also lost Insania throughout it, and Quakefoot. All right, that's
and a tower for Shad.
That brings back everything that kind of happened poorly inside of the laning phase.
Yeah.
They're back in it here with the net worth.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, pretty much all of their cores now, even with that and Liquid. Some very nice moves here from Viking, and this is a team you've got to be careful. We've seen this in the past with this squad. Any sort of chance for them to run at you, they're going to do it. They've got the heroes to do so. We're seeing with this Breaker, Tiny, Mirana, they're going to be straight in your face, as Liquid have to be careful at how they sort of stay split up, as dives will be coming in past these tier 1s each and every time Viking sees an opportunity. Lane. Another attempt here towards Insania, but Insania's got quite for a round. Nightmare setup, but instantly taken off. And again, one of the powers of these heroes, Aramis and the Breaker, Boom on the Tiny. These are very high HP heroes early on. The Void Spirits combo, Quakefoot, he cannot sort of solo these heroes down. There's too much HP for him to burst through.
Absolutely. And Quakefoot, he's actually gone for the Yules build this game. I thought he might go for more of a snowball build, but I guess because they died, maybe it changed some things. I thought maybe he'd go for something like the Orchid for the kills, but looking at bottom, Mickey very alone here.
Shad is going to get brought in by Celery. They've got the control here with the ult into the arrow. 5 heroes upon him. Mickey in a whole lot of trouble. They're trying to head over to help him out, Liquid, but they cannot get here in time.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, they are hitting Liquid hard now, Viking. They say it doesn't matter about the laning stage. We're going to come through in this early mid game and just outplay them as Liquid getting truly shaken up.
And now they've, because of those few kills, first, bottom.
Let's see if they got enough control though. I mean, Toby's got a lot of HP himself to work with this full Spirit Vessel. Now 1400 HP Mirana isn't getting solo through.
There's a Blink Tiny coming too.
They're trying to poke onto Aramis, but they're not getting this kill. Liquid have to bring in more if they want to try and take down these heroes. The TPs are coming in. They've got 4 members down in Liquid, and Viking know that. They forced a reaction. They'll back away from this and make sure that Liquid don't get the chance to find this fight that they were looking for.
Oh my god. I mean, these last few moments, in the last 5 minutes, they picked up a Vessel, they picked up a Blink, and then they also just picked up a mech on the IO. So this has kind of completely changed things for the next upcoming fights, how Liquid is probably going to look at it. I don't think they're going to expect you guys to have this much gold, this much efficient use of their gold as well, right? Look at the net worth of this IO. I think it's what, 2,200 or something, 2,300? It's all exactly mech. 2,240. It's literally just his mech all contributed there perfectly. So yeah, a lot more factors that Liquid needs to worry about. And now this Jug, he's taking control of that top net worth. Huge moves from Viking.
Oh, Bo3, he's going to get caught out. Booms in with a blink. Bo3 is going to try and run, but the charge is in. Bo3 will turn, be able to spear them back, and does have Insania by his side. He's having to use the arena to get away, but Aramis, he jumps in with the ultimate. Bo3, can he survive it? Boom, he's get one more hit, and then the Avalanche is back up. They get the kill. They'll cut down Insania as well. As Liquid, they're really starting to struggle. They are just getting outplayed in every single event over the last 5 minutes. They had a great laning stage. Their 3 cores far ahead, but now they're falling apart. The combo's in onto Quaitha. McKay trying to zip in, turns to the Tiny to they've already finished off Quaitha. The Omni Slash comes out onto McKay. Aramis and Toby push back. The arrow's in onto this Morphling. The 4 of them surround him. McKay is dead. And Liquid, what is happening? They are getting smashed in by Viking in every single move.
Holy moly. I mean, Viking is just outmaneuvering, outclassing, outnumbering them in every single occasion. They kill bottom, they have, I think, relocate. They're moving so quick around the map. With this charge, with this Mirana, they're using their mobility at its finest and not letting Liquid kind of group up and fight, right? Liquid wants to be able to utilize Mars and Phoenix ulti. They want to be able to have Quaitha jumping in and starting the fights, but they're the ones actually getting gone on.
And you can see in the graphs that the whole sort of laning phase was just, very comfortably for Liquid, building up in their favor. And bam, Vikings start making these moves up and down the map, and it's too fast for Liquid to deal with. Liquid are just all over the place and not quite ready for this aggression. They do now look up top to try and turn things onto the Spirit Breaker. Arrow comes in, holds back Quaitha for now. Can Aramis get out of there? The Moonlight helping him out, but the Sunray continues to burn. Do they have detection from him? It doesn't even matter. Aramis is going to be able to charge back over to the creep wave, get himself away from the 3 of them. The same time on the mid lane, an additional fight continues as the arena's down. The setup will be there for Mickey to blow up Celery. They'll turn over towards Boom, but Shad's here. Make sure that Bo3 and Mickey can't commit any further for Boom. So Liquid able to find a kill. Of course, not necessarily a huge one.
But look at this
happening. Viking keeping the score even there when it comes to action in the last minute. As they get another kill onto the Phoenix, they're now starting to grow to a 2K lead.
I love how this team is playing. No hesitation. They understand how their lineup is supposed to play. Jug's getting all this farm, but look at the way that Boom is playing. He showed mid, he got Mars ulted. No hesitation, TP's top finds a kill on Phoenix. They're not slowing down for these kills at all.
This should be an easy pick, or is it? They cancel the Phoenix grip, doesn't matter. The burst is there to bring down Toby. They'll lose Insania for it. Viking, can they get more from this? They turn over towards Bo3. Bo3 trying his best to juke away through the trees. Is it going to work? He's hiding, but they've got the vision on him. They've found him. The IO back out, but the vision there long enough for Aramis to go for the charge. Doesn't want to commit, though. Quaitha will be around to put that charge to an end with the Remnant, and TPs were coming in on the outpost.
Quick fighting moves, though. Immediately, as soon as Toby's getting gone out, no hesitation. The IO Tiny, they're paired up. They relocate top. Spirit Breaker joins the fray. Every single time, it seems like Viking, they're just bringing the numbers. Liquid is not prepared for this run-at-you lineup that's somehow swung this game so much from those last few moments. Look at this. Jug now has 1,600 over. I believe it's a full Manta plus more. Or he went for SNY. He's going to go for the disassemble build, but look at this Jug. 1,700 HP. He has People's Gift, drums, SNY. And he's set up for success now.
And from Shad as well, between hitting the creeps and hitting the heroes. It couldn't be any better.
Perfect.
At 3, 1, and 5, you know, this Jug has been... He's been getting involved. This is not an AFK juggernaut. Shad's been keeping up with the tempo of his very aggressive teammates. I'm really getting involved, and it shows. The levels and farm for him very good for 18 minutes in.
Celery. Walk up versus Insania. Sentry versus Sentry. Neither of them confident to step forward for it just yet. Looks like we have a little bit of a lull of downtime here for a moment before all the action's going to start kicking off again. So what, he bought the halberd piece now? I believe he has that finished up already on the Jug. So that is it's a really tough to kill Juggernaut already at this point. You were talking about the burst damage that comes out, in particular from Quakefa. They have more than enough HP on their core heroes now in order to tank versus most of it.
That's the thing. I feel the games where you really see Void Spirit suffer are those games where, you know, 20 minutes in, you're sort of asking yourself as the Void Spirit, who can he kill? You know, who does Quakefa go on and blow up? And at this point, with the heroes on Viking GG and these early items, it's none of them, right? Quakefa, he's always going to need that additional 1 or possibly 2 heroes to actually go on someone and take them out.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's too tanky at this point for him to do anything. Io has Mech, Spirit Breaker is Spirit Breaker with 1700 HP with drums and Tranquil Boots. So, yeah, definitely tough for Quakefa to play around with this, just like pairing up with one hero and looking for kills. They actually just need to look for fights. Liquid is not about to pick off draft.
Nice, quick and easy grab there for Viking.
Well, Viking is about to pick off draft, right? We see that immediately. They can set up kills with 1 or 2 heroes quite easily. Liquid has to start looking for some team fights pretty soon here with their lineup. Otherwise, I do see them start to fall behind. Every time they're spinning up, Viking is just on them. Look at this. Top immediately. Aramis, no hesitation.
We'll see a little bit of time for himself there with the self-fuels, but there's the backup. Viking, they're just all here. They're just all here on top of Quakefa. I mean, they are just destroying the flow that Quakefa wants to get going as a Void Spirit. Boxy will go with the arena onto Boom. Has Tiger by him, but Boom, he's got a lot of teammates around. Aramis charges over to try and get in, but the Tiny will fall. Mickey turns to the Spirit Breaker, able to give Aramis a bit of a taste of his own medicine as he charges in upon him. As Liquid will manage to kick back at Vikings, sticking around a little too long there, the two of them up top. Meanwhile, Shad and Celery getting to work on the bottom lane. This tower and creep wave will push Shad very close to having the completed Manta and Halberd.
Big boy here. Big Jug. That situation there, they get the Void Spirit kill, they stay a little bit too far forward. That's when Liquid can start to react. They finally have their Mars Phoenix. Phoenix now has Max Sunray, so there's the damage that we're looking for, right?
See if they can get this Jug. This will be the big one. They need to stop Shad's
with
game.
The Fiend's grip. They have no way to cancel it.
I do not. He's getting healed by the tether, and even with the 4 heroes going for him, Shad's just able to get out. The
arrow connects.
They're going to be able to bring down Tiger by the looks of it. Can they take him out? Or you get the egg off? They can. And with the charge through from Aris, straight through the 3 of them. Viking, they're fighting on, despite the fact that they've lost their eye. It doesn't matter. They're too strong at this point. Liquid cannot deal with them. Insania is out as well. And that was what those 4 heroes trying to go on Shad's Jug. They just couldn't do it. They brought him down to about half HP. Celery with some great positioning, just sort of swinging around the edge of the fight. They couldn't get the IO off the Jug. And even with the full lockdown and the full duration Fiend's grip, they couldn't kill him.
Those heals, that mech. I think next time now I see Liquid put more focus onto Celery because of all that, but that's a painful one. They might be able to find Aramis here. They will.
Not quite able to find the Omni-Slash target that he'd hoped for. They're still
in the area.
They could still take this Viking if they want to. And they're gonna back off. Shad very close to the Manta, so it makes sense for them to focus on getting his next item complete.
Yeah, love this build up too. Manta into Scotty. He's playing versus Morphle. He's playing versus Phoenix Mars. I mean, it's just such a good Scotty game pickup if he's able to get that one next. Yeah, they're off to a real good start here after all this recovery. 18-12. 1K gold lead, Boom, non-stop aggression. Look at this guy, 6-2 and 8. He's already on the prowl, kind of looking for another setup. Might just clear out the mid wave first, but
I mean, how would you sort of consider the status of the game in terms of you being a game that Mickey is going to be able to take on his back and carries this more? For at the moment, is there still a very good chance that Mickey will be able to do this?
Yes, I still think It's a last pick Morphling game versus like no silences, very limited disables, and very telltale spells, and he still has the heavy backup of his team. It still is a super solid game for Mickey as it does progress forward. Viking still needs to kick up that tempo, but if they can get a couple kills here, if they can keep these pickups, that's when they get a Roche, they get map control, and that can lead them to success versus this Morph. But yeah, Mickey is definitely the one to look out for still with the backup of his team.
Well, let's see what they can find here with the smoke straight over towards the river, charging onto Bo3. They found the two of them. Bo3 and Insania grouped up together. They go in straight away with the Omni Slash, cut them down. There's going to be a buyback from Insania. He wants to try and get across and help the rest of his team because the rest of the three of Liquid, they're still around it. They'll turn, they'll be able to blow up the IO. The egg is going to get focused immediately as Boom picks up a triple kill. The stun, the bash is onto Mickey. Mickey, he's falling low, he's down. The crit comes through. Mickey is out. Insania, he's going to be ending up dying back in this fight as he's in the river, dead for a second time. Koifer jumps away the dissimulate. They've got vision. If they got a stun, they have. Boom throws up the avalanche. Koifer still with the movement speed to get away. Has got another astral step to jump out. Boom. He's going to have blink up in a second again. Is he able to find Koifer? Avalanche up in a couple. Koifer turns with the heals, but the vision's already there for the charge to come in from Aramis as in they go, flying across onto the Void Spirit. The high fives are offered up, but there's no response from Koifer as he's dead. And Viking, they're just so quick. They're everywhere. They've just killed off everybody. I think 6 heroes technically, Insania twice. On top of that team-wide, they're instantly into Roshan. I mean, you give Viking any sort of chance to make a move and they just take everything from you.
It's so smart the way they did that. The smoke on a position where they secure the area, right? They put a ward, they put a sentry, they smoke, they go as a team, and they find the 2 perfect targets. I mean, ideally they would have found Phoenix Mars, but they found Mars and Bane, take them out before the fight starts. And then the egg is put in a position when Chick and Miranda are alive, so they just easily bring down that egg by themselves and hold their ground. Viking just making all the right moves. Liquid starting to fall out of control here now.
Yeah, and the time
that was the big fight. That was the big fight that Liquid needed to kind of come back in here for Mickey. Now 6k gold lead. Viking has so much freedom around the map now.
Yeah, and Shad's just massive. And
he's huge.
And Viking PG, they're so focused on every little aspect. Which is 25 minutes in, the runes come up. They pick 3 for themselves. They couldn't get the one on the dire side, but that was okay because Shad, he still had his illusions there. He denied the bounty runes, so Liquid get nothing at the 25-minute mark. They lose Insania yet again. A 7k difference now. I mean, this is really starting to look quite hard for Liquid to slow down. The weight on Mickey's shoulders just getting ever heavier and greater. He's got so much work that he has to do to try and swing this one around, and it just seems so hard for him because Viking, they're just in his face. They're in everybody's face in each and every fight.
He feels alone is the biggest thing, right? Koifa has fallen off pretty heavily in the game.
I mean, look at this Tiny's KDA.
11-2-10.
11-2-10. He's 21 of the 25 kills. He has been in there.
Look at the 3 cores.
That's insane.
11-2-10, 5-1-13, 4-1-11. They're having the dream games.
And you got to remember, specifically Boom, you know, that lane, he was off to such a rough start in the lane matchup against Koifa. But the difference between his game and Koifa's is night and day. 11-2-10 on this mid Tiny compared to this 4-4-4 on Void Spirit and that, you know, 4.5. That's not a great. That's not what you want as a Void Spirit. That's not you had a rough game.
Now things really started to snowball. And they just continue to keep this map control here. They take the top tower, they take the outpost very quickly. They're very decisive with their moves that I've noticed from Viking GG.
Toby, that's been called out by Bo3. They're going to look to try and blow the Mirana. Aramis trying to charge over the side, but the arena holds it back. They've got the grip onto the Tiny here, but the BKB's already out. Boom, he's not taking any damage during this grip. Aramis comes charging across the 3 of them. The combo's in, the Taylor across, Insania trying to protect himself from the sleep, but Mickey, he's caught in the avalanche. Can he actually get out of this? He waveforms to the side, but Viking, they're just going to continue to chase, run them down into the Blade Fusion. Blade Fury on Blade Fury, Beyblade action here between Mickey and Shad. Mickey has to spin his way out of this, but it's a dead supernova. Each and every one of this game has just been unsuccessful from Tiger, and understandably so. Viking, they have such a great lineup for killing that egg. They also catch Bo3 off to the side of this tier 2, and it really feels like Liquid, they've got to start going back to the drawing board on this game. I mean, they started off well in the lanes. They have a draft that could have been able to take this late for the Morph, but Viking GG from sort of 10 minutes onwards, they have just run over Liquid. Liquid have looked so shaken up this game.
I don't know what else I love seeing more than when a team, they play their strategy so well that they break the other team's strategy.
They've just broken them.
Liquid wants to fight, they get these big team fights, but look at the way Vikings playing it. They're not giving them the opportunities. It's always like, oh, 2 or 3 heroes of Liquid are set up here, and then they just 5-man them. Then again, 2 or 3 heroes, Viking 5-mans them before all Liquid is set up. Or they kill people before the fight starts. In a situation like Bottom River, where they got the Mars. Arrow?
Quite just stands in it.
Oh my god.
He doesn't even dodge it. He's got every ability up and a heal scepter. He has all the buttons, but he doesn't press any of them.
I think that might be it. I think Viking just broke Liquid completely in this one.
I think that broke Quaitfa's keyboard.
Quaitfa for sure.
Middle barracks has fallen.
On a single button press there, as Quaitfa's out. A Quaitfa just getting hit point blank by an arrow. That's when you know that this game has been a little too much for Liquid.
Just, yeah, I mean, snowballing out of control in its definition. Aramis just, honestly, I loved watching this guy Spirit Breaker, especially when he has a hero like Tiny with him. They have so much global potential, it feels. Just this movement, the mobility. Charge into a Blink Tiny with a Relocate on top, and then Shad's just there. Just every time. They always have the numbers. Liquid, they need the final hurrah.
Yeah, if they don't come out on top of this fight, it may just all be over for Liquid here in this game one. Bo3 is going to lay down the arena, but Aramis and Shad, they're going to be happy to trip in with a mid-game with the turn into the Marana form. Will use the arrow onto Shad. They'll be able to take him down the walls, but he's still got that Aegis. Aramis will fall. Boom in with the 3-man avalanche. The toss on the Bo3, bringing him alone. Shad comes in with the Omni Slash, cuts down the two of them. Bo3 and Quaitfa out of the game alongside Tiger. There's a buyback on Bo3, but Quaitfa and Tiger with no means to return to the fray. The Yule set up onto Mickey. The arrow, the stun control, it's there. Vessel down on a Mickey. He's going to try and morph his way back to the base. Boom, actually running into the fountain. The ball's nearly slapping Mickey out of the action, but he's into the fountain. He will live. Viking, though, more than enough space to take a second set of racks here. 30 minutes in.
I mean, there's just no way. Now the morphing is super countered with the Spirit Vessel, with the Scotty. He can't even shift very easy at all. Like, all these fights are just impossible. It really does start to feel like a Mickey. He doesn't have backup of his team, and they're just, I mean, it really was snowballing out of control,
it was the perfect snowball. This lineup of Viking GG, I don't know who's necessarily the loudest out of the squad, who's making the majority of the shot calls, but whoever it is, these are some top tier movements.
Yeah, agreed.
Every single move across the map and reaction to what Liquid's tried to do during this game, it's just always been won by Viking. They're always a step ahead in this match, and Liquid just seemed totally lost.
A step ahead and relentless is what I want to say. It's like, I didn't feel like them go back and farm, right? It never was a situation where it was like, okay, guys, let's chill. No, it was, we have Blink Tiny, we have Spirit Vessel Marana, we have everything we need to just take over the game and fight every single time. Don't let Liquid actually get a 5-man unit. They never have.
And boom, he's just in with a BKB onto Mickey. Forcing him away. Tiger will be able to dive out of range of the arrow in time, but the charge down to Quaitfa. Set up into the ornament. They bounce Quaitfa back into the arms of Boom as he tosses him up. Quaitfa being well and truly shaken up here in this game one. His Void Spirit being thrown literally all over the place by Boom in his time. He jumped forward again, a combo onto Insania. Tiger, he's going to drop the egg. Toby's just going to come in with the BKB in the lead. He wants to take the Supernova down, and he won't be able to. The egg successful. They didn't quite get the last hit in time. The Sunray burning, Sailor down low. His Spirit Vessel is also slowly killing him off. They will find the Io. Bo3 able to turn, get the Spirit onto Shab, pushing him away as well. With the shield crash, but deeper. Mickey is dead. He's gone for 75. They're going to tap out. They know that they cannot turn this one around at all. GG is called as Viking GG with this game one performance. I mean, they just look like on a totally different level to Liquid. It almost looked like this was a game where Viking said, you know what, we're going to let you win the lanes. We're going to chill out for the first 10.
$1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here. opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from
Another-
Sep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the long ground, on to 3, Sep as well as NM1 are gonna get chewed down, 3 dead, Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for Ravage, can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early, aggressive blinks in, pops the rage as well, still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the silver edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shao pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howell brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you go. So a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi's down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven. What's his BKB? They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice, he's in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. And oh, the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stall of Finch and Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
But this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hook shot as well. Laguna bites Samel, the Cold Swim. The Cogs burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samael down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they could delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the Wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samael is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal.
OG right behind Arme. Gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find a stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the front line attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the back line. The BKB, they're into the back line. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. ES is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. Seven from the side with a take on Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Marana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam. Oh, there he is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG. 1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Seth misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The Exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armless Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the Glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the Open Wounds will come through, they have the Kinetic Shield. There's the Black Hole, from the long ground, on to 3! Step as well as them are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher down. not enough. Maybe he's getting cruised by mid one. They get up the roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tong Fu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tong Fu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wing. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's light of heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start to fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean.
Radiant's turn to ban. Seconds. 5 seconds.
Enjoyed that previous game of Dota 2, and I can't wait to see another one. Any final words before heading to the draft of Game 2?
Yeah, I want to see more of the Viking. I want to see this aggressiveness, the way they're playing. Like, it's just, yeah, put it in. Not that deep. Okay, we're good. So yeah, back to Viking against Liquid. I think Liquid, what they did was the same thing EG did yesterday against Nigma, where they won all 3 lanes that were 5k gold ahead, and then just suddenly they came. You know, they felt way too comfortable, I would say, and the same thing happened with Liquid.
I think Liquid.
All right, I think Liquid and Viking is the game. Let's head over to the draft.
Seconds. 5 seconds.
I think Liquid and Viking was the game, and I think the documentary was Godzilla versus King Kong. But, I mean, maybe fictional, maybe non-fictional. But it's a showdown that is proving to be just as epic as this one, as Viking GG, against the odds, have pulled out a victory in Game 1 off of that really fast draft that they opted for.
Yeah, I think they found the weakness in Liquid, which is they often have well-rounded drafts that like a little bit of time to come online. And Viking, they don't care about that. They're going to play strong, even if they have a bad laning phase. Their ability to group up and play together is just so good.
It's about the pace in which some teams are playing this meta and some teams are not. And it looks like this pace completely suits Viking, completely suits Secret and OG. When you look at these games in which you have a Wisp, Spirit Breaker, even Darkseer, when you think about it, does the same exact thing. Just comes online so fast. And if you have these stable picks, I'm gonna have my Phoenix, I'm gonna have my Mars Arena, I'll put my little bubble there and all will be well. It won't work because they'll run circles around you. Like that last game, how do you use Egg versus Mirana Jug Wisp? Never. It's impossible.
You have to like pray to get like a high ground egg where they're just not in position to get to it. But I think for Liquid, when you look at the team and like obviously tier 1 caliber team, when they're playing up against the Secrets and these other guys, they're a little bit slower in their gameplay. They like to take the back seat. They like to, react to the aggression of their opponent. Viking, on the other hand, they're the ones always going aggressive. Even with the bad laning phase, they're still making the same moves they would if they had a better laning phase. And
sorry, continue.
No, as I say, it's just that play style which might kind of catch Liquid off guard. And I think it happens so often in most tournaments for Liquid. They're not ready for just all-out aggression. They want to be a little bit slower going into the game.
They have opened up differently this time around, however. They are switching things up. When it comes to this opener, I like this a bit more from Team Liquid. It is a little bit out there when it comes to their strategies and how they like to play, because now you have the Vengeful and the Tiny. You have taken Vikings stuff. Vengeful perhaps not, but Tiny definitely. And you will be forced to play this same type of a fast-paced game early on. Will you be able to recreate the strategy from a team that's constantly playing it? That's the question. Maybe you aren't as adept at it as they are.
How critical was the IO in that draft? Because they found it to be important. Liquid was like, you can have it, didn't first phase ban it, and first phase picked by Viking.
If there's a team that's good with Wisp, it will always work. IO is just a hero that...
Even either support or core.
Support or core, obviously, if you're playing it as a core right now, if you have a player that can play it as a core, it gives you another dimension.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can flex a little bit. but it doesn't matter. IO has always been and always will be strategically a broken hero. You have that global presence, you have overcharge, you have healing capabilities for
farming
teammates.
potential as well to enable your carry. It ticks so many boxes. But Liquid, their response to this, or like expecting the eye to come through, they've got two ways to deal with it. One, where you can blow him up with a tiny combo, and two, you've got that swap to disconnect the IO tether from the guy you're going on, so that they do have the mechanisms to actually deal with this IO. And it's going to be interesting to see, is this Doom going to be in the offlane or mid? If it's in
minus armor, you have a stun, you have a slow. It's extremely difficult for a Doom to play that lane. Then again, Viking could respond by either switching up the Doom. There you go, the draw. They could switch up the Doom either to mid lane or safe lane, right? They could really suffers versus tri lanes. You could also do that.
I'm just somewhat scared for this Drow though, where you're opening up the second phase by presenting this Drow like we expected it, seeing the Venge and the Doom there, and now there we go. You got Spirit Breaker once again.
Spectre is in the pool. Phantom Lancer is in the pool.
Exactly.
Like, you're opening up with this Drow because you see why she's strong. There are definitely reasons why she's really strong and good against these three heroes. But there are some weak points to it.
It's not about the lanes though, right? It's like we see in the game one when we talk about the draft, we're talking about how okay these guys survive this and this, but for Viking they don't really care too much about the laning phase. It's about that mid game, and right now I see Liquid with the same issue where they have a nice looking draft, they can play their lane, but they're not at any point am I scared of these three heroes right now. Compared to Viking, you can have Doom and Spiritbreaker running through. Like, there's not enough kind of rebuttal from Liquid to stop these two kind of big boys coming through the line, especially when you got the Eye behind them.
So when heroes are able to move as fast as Vikings heroes usually are, what's really good to have is form of dispositioning them or containing them with the puck. But Vengeful and Tiny are pretty solid when it comes to that. You have Tossback, you have the swap as well, you have multiple ways of stopping the charge. You have a hero that can give distance to the Drow Ranger against the Doom, which is also pretty solid. So, what do you think? Phantom Lancer or Spectre? Spectre.
What about Phantom Assassin?
Spectre. They picked it.
The thing is that both of those heroes are not traditional IO partners.
But I think
so. How important is that?
I think it doesn't matter anymore nowadays, because like the IO is not about the combo, it's about the gameplay, the map, how you're enabling your entire team. Can you suddenly bring that extra bit of heal to the fight? Are you pairing? And right now the pairs are the Doom, the Spirit Breaker. You're never really going to be going, here you go Spectre, how can I help you? Think about laning phase, the IO naturally is like that Warlock-esque hero. He'll provide the healing for Spectre, that's all he needs from his position 5. And then at minute 7, when you want to disconnect that safe lane, IO just jumps with the Spirit Breaker, and now you have this double roaming. And
if you're Team Liquid right now, you see the Spectre and you have to realize that your is extremely bad versus her. It can be very, very difficult. Like, the high ground defense is there, but any fight anywhere across the map with the Spectre's Haunt active can be really difficult, because you will always be able to give the Spirit Breaker and the Doom the vision. Why the Spectre is so good here is you pop that Haunt, Doom can pick a target to jump on and Doom it. Spirit Breaker can pick a target instantly to charge on. So this Spectre might put you off a little bit because of the Wisp combo, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's a really, really good pick for Viking.
Yeah. In regards to Liquid though, the fact that they do have multiple lanes to stop this Spirit Breaker feeling like he can have a good time. When you play Barrow, you always want to be able to connect on your lane and then kind of walk away. But against Puck, you never connect. He has Phase Shift, Orb, Waning Rift, there's so many ways to annoy you. Same with Drow, you have Gust. Like, this Spirit Breaker won't have that potentially that really big impact onto that mid lane. So it forces him into the one corner of the map.
And the Spirit Breaker Doom, like you mentioned, overall, it's not the greatest lane. However, I want to be Kyle a little bit. Team Liquid, damage amplification. It's
true.
You have Vengeful, you have Drow. If they itemize properly, perhaps a Slardar on you. Slardar's bad out.
Yeah.
Damn it. Beastmaster on the
50%
offline.
card,
Yeah.
Beastmaster, sure.
Beastmaster, why not? that could work. So you want to play this tempo coming from Team Liquid, and a hero such as Beast could definitely fit them. It's a hero also that does quite well versus the Tomb. If you roar him, you can kill him off easily. You have the Hawks to give you vision against him too, to see any sort of movements coming your way. Not sure if they'll go that route though.
Where's the burst from Viking though? That's what enabled their aggression and their general kind of in-your-face play was because they're this tiny. Having a standout game, 10 plus deaths, kills.
We go all out on global potential. Let's get a Zeus on this.
Could be, but you know what I like really about Liquid so far? This Puck pick is way more than just a hero that benefits from Drow. It's a hero that punishes a lot of mid laners that Viking love to go for. Now they went with Bat, but your Storm Spirit, your Ember Spirit, suddenly you don't have to ban them out. You have this Puck on the mid lane that can punish them. But Bat Rider is like completely... I can't believe it hasn't been banned out. We didn't see all the bans, but... Alright.
They go for Storm Spirit. So Liquid, they're rounding out their draft with the ability of... They are very scary if Viking overstep their mark and they get contained within the coil, within like a tiny combo or something. It is scary. It's just simply this Bat, Spiritbreaker, and Io. They are so scary running around the map early on. Drow and Storm both most likely want to jungle at some point to recover potentially a questionable laning phase. So
the questionable laning stage, what you just said, is extremely important for Liquid, because you do have lanes that should in theory do well one-on-one if the lanes are static. But once you put the Spirit Breaker in rotation, once he goes mid, punishes that Storm a couple of times, the game completely changes. You need to activate this Storm because he is the key pick for your team. I actually thought that they might pick it in the last game too, because it's one of the best heroes to play against Wisp. And right now, overall, it does fairly well versus Batrider, who should be mid.
That seems vaguely reminiscent of game one then, where it didn't seem like Viking were doing great in the lanes, but then as soon as the IO Jug combination came online, then they were like, okay, well, I mean, it didn't really matter how the laning phase goes, we're just going to group up and move around faster than you.
Yeah, I think the difference in this game, they only have the Batrider to be that kind of enabler. They don't actually have a lot of damage outside of Firefly and then maybe Scorched Earth. And they're waiting pretty much for Spectre to come online. So if you ever see the Batrider make an aggressive play, as long as this Puck is able to connect into that fight, have his TP available, you punish the Batrider a couple times, it might bridge the gap just enough to have just enough items to go Roshan and pressure. But again, Liquid, they are on this timer just because of the Spectre v Drow matchup. Hopefully, Puck and Storm can do a good job and shut this Batrider down.
Yeah, and Viking seems to be bridging the gap with the odds as well. Seems like game one earning them a little bit of respect, and rightfully so. Is this, again, looking like another Viking GG favorite draft?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that this is completely an outdraft from Viking GG. I definitely see some upsides to it. Again, you have the Spectre versus the Drow, which is pretty solid. The Batrider last pick was also a pretty good pick, but I like the response from Liquid as well with the Storm Spirit. I really see strengths on both of these drafts. I would value Liquid this time around a little bit more. However, a few mistakes again, and it can all go down the drain.
Fair enough. We'll see what Viking GG are capable of and if they can pull out an upset in this first series of the day as we pass it on to our casters, Odie, Pixel, and Fogged.
Thank you very much. Yes, game two ready to go. With these drafts, Fog, would you sort of agree that this time round Liquid's got a better way of maybe matching the tempo that we saw in game one Viking bring with sort of a ferocious pace?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they just actually have easier to like use spells and just be able to make.
30 seconds to battle. Consider yourself warned.
Liberty of, just your toolkit to just do damage, right? Before it was Tiny Toss, Stun, Mirana, Combo, Spirit Break, all this damage coming into play. This one, a lot of it is going to be relying on Firefly, relying on Batrider, who is into two heroes that are kind of good versus Bat in the olden days, right? Venge and Puck used to be looked at pretty good heroes versus Bat. They can move around and respond to him. But I've also just seen Bats run away with games and take over super hard. So that's probably the biggest thing I'm looking at to take care of everything for Vikings. How good of a game does Boom have? Because he was explosive last game.
And do you like the answer to Boom?
D ward.
Check for the vision.
Yeah, he walked into the little side of the vision for the tower to be able to check if there's ward vision there. Let me get deny. One more hit. They're both playing around it.
There we go, headed together nicely. Nice bit of teamwork for Liquid. Will secure them that ward. And then so in this mid lane, Quakefoot getting that last pick Storm as a response to the bat. Pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Not a whole lot of disabled he has to worry about. It's just Lasso, Doom, and like Spirit Breaker's abilities, which you can play around. You can zip into Spirit Breaker. You can pull him beforehand. They have Gust. They have lots of different abilities this time to mess with Aramis. We're seeing them already starting to pull the wave. Panel mentioned Drow Venge, one of the strongest like duos straight up in lane versus melees. Like Spirit Breaker and Doom, these two heroes just don't do much of anything until later on versus that Venge and Drow. Yeah, nice lane setups for Liquid.
So you imagine, well, this top lane Drow pretty much going to have free farm.
He just missed the range creep under tower, but should be free farm.
Okay.
He just missed the second creep actually, in fact, too. So he should have free farm, but he just missed 2 under tower. And I think he just missed the 3rd under tower, too. Oh, no, he got it, okay. Almost missed 3 CS, but we'll be able to fix that up. And Aramis will do the full deny behind. I mean, he played that perfectly. I think this is exactly the move the Spirit Breaker needed to do, because a hero like Vengeful Spirit, you actually cannot pressure when Spirit Breaker does this. Other amazing zoning heroes like Bane, Undying, stuff like this, you can contest between that wave. But Venge, it's too scary. You're too slow and just not very strong at all.
Yeah, well, what about this mid now? 12 for 5 against the 5 for 1.
Yep.
Quakefoot just playing the first few waves perfectly with the burst of the remnants and just pushing them out and securing pretty much every single CS.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a funny lane. It works in favor of Storm because you're always pushing the lane into Bat's side, but Bat can pose kill threat always if you make a mistake on that Storm.
Sure, it feels hard though as the Bat. I do feel like Storm.
It is hard.
Especially if I don't know if he's playing with Stick or if he will be, but even without that, you're always going to have the difficulty of actually getting aggressive on the Storm, because a remnant and a pull and another remnant, suddenly you're taking much more damage than you've been able to dish out to the Storm.
Yeah, and your Firefly has such a long cooldown. You can never you're never going to be in a point, or you shouldn't be in a point usually where it's like a double creep wave and you're diving a Storm. The Storm is usually going to have his wave pushing onto your side. So you can see he didn't even scale Firefly in this matchup. He understands he's not going to get on top of that Storm in most situations.
Yeah, I guess, just able to at least harass a bit more efficiently than, capitalize on when he does get the high stacks with a good old flame break to at least do some damage to try and push Quakefoot away. But yeah, even with that, Quakefoot having a very, very strong showing here.
Let's see if the rotation changes things. Right now he's level 4 on Bat, so he has Firefly, he has Flame Break. They have a Spirit Breaker on their team, so see if Aramis can look to help the mid lane. First, though, he's going to save Toby, what it looks like top.
May just die for his efforts, though. So if there's any way that Aramis could get out of it, he's trying to hide in the trees. Mickey and Asania will be able to find him, though.
Such a strong lane.
Yeah, always going to be difficult. I mean, that's sort of how it's going to go, right? If the Doom's about to die, Toby's not going to get out alive. You're going to have Aramis go in to give his life to keep Toby safe.
Yep. I think Aramis did not want to do that, honestly. I'm like 90% sure Aramis wanted to sit around the mid area and charge up for the 4-minute bounty rune, or 4-minute power rune, to be able to set up onto Quakefoot with Boom. But having to try to help top, now it's messed with his rotation a little bit. They will luck out and get the rune up top.
That's it. Tiger can keep up these body blocks, keep him in range. Quakefoot is doing a good job, Tiger, and is it good enough? One more proc of the overload, not enough.
Toss!
Oh,
that'll do it.
Tiger, some lovely little body blocking there around mid, making sure damage can be done and the kill can be picked up.
I like the Tiger match. You match the aggression, right? You see the Spirit Breaker rotating, you must do the same thing. Great little heads up there play by Liquid, ensuring that the Storm Spirit will continue to have a great time in mid lane. Quakefoot gonna be up to level 6 pretty soon. Might just stick around for the bounty rune.
And we'll see. I mean, this game, Quakefoot, can he go aggressive as Item build? Does he have to get a Yules for himself first? Can he sort of go for an Orchid build on Storm?
It's not any like glaring heroes that he needs an Orchid verse. Okay. Usually it's like your versus an Ember Spirit, your versus a Void Spirit, your versus a Void, something like that actually requires it. I think he can. I don't know. I think he has his options. He might just go for some more of greedy type of build. He might still go for the Orchid even too, but it's not like it's super necessary this game. It just could definitely work.
I see Aramis. He's going to be able to come around, get this ward down. Tiger still hanging around, and they did see him come over there with the ward themselves.
He's trying to get some type of like back charges onto Koikfa before he 6. He really wants to kill this Storm at least once, but look at the way Liquid knows this is happening.
They're keeping Koikfa very safe.
Yeah.
They've got the bodyguards up and down the river.
Yep, and they know that they're like, oh, Toby's top alone. So that means that they're trying to make this play. Storm hits 6, immediately they're going to make the move first.
Yep, straight in onto Boom with the zip. The magic missile from the back here. Insania locks down the bat. Boom up to the high ground, but the last hit from Koikfa will do it. He's got enough mana as well to tear himself away from Aramis and Soleri.
Preparation at its finest right there. Rune's coming out in 2 seconds. Aramis will not be able to get it. He will be able to charge away here for a second. The zip, though, will bring him down, and Koikfa also going to get the rune.
Damn, Koikfa off to a hot start this game. 2-0-1. Some lovely kills here as Liquid just enabling Koikfa's game in the mid lane.
Beautiful. That's what you want to see. They're like, oh, Boxy's up bottom. He's not dying versus Spectre IO. It's just not going to happen. So they know they can do this Liberty. Same for top. It's a Drow versus a Doom. They know Mickey's got the freedom. They know that the Spirit is going to play around mid. Yeah, real heads up plays there by Liquid. And maybe thinking about getting aggressive on Shad there, but too much damage reduction.
Yeah, hard to do so with Tiger around. Can't really go and turn back on a Boxy when Liquid poke onto Shad.
Nah. I think they're very happy with this, though. 7 minutes, your Drow hasn't gotten pressured. Your Storm hasn't gotten fully well. You've reacted really well to your Storm getting pressured. Yeah, looking like a real hot start here for Team Liquid.
I mean, is this another similar draft like Game 1 where Viking could just end up falling behind a little bit in the lanes, then come that sort of 10-minute plus, they start making moves as far and getting this snowball going like they did in the first game?
They definitely do have the potential for it, right? With Spectre Haunt, with Spirit Breaker Charge, they still do have mobility, but I think Liquid has much better responses this time. Like the Venge, the Tiny, they can move around a lot easier. Same thing with the Puck. They could always respond to those ganks and counter gank a lot easier in comparison this game. Level 6, Boxy, saving the coil.
Well, they're going to try it now. Coil drop down, responses are there. Koikfa coming in with a big zip onto Shad.
A lot of heals.
And it's not enough damage here from Liquid to kill Shad off, as he will be more than fine there. Back up, the lasso's there to trip Boxy up after he's used the orb. As Boxy, he's only got that little jump left, and it's not enough of a jump to take him away from Shad. Koikfa turns back on towards the Spectre, continuing to try and burst him low, but it's so hard. With Celery healing up Shad, can they quite finish him? Shad trying to go away from this Storm, but Koikfa with his Arcane Rune just has an infinite reserve of mana to keep the pressure on, get the kill. At the same time, top lane Viking will be able to dive in and find Mickey. So at least able to find a carry in return, but that is Vikings mid and carry going down on that bottom lane with Koikfa able to clean up with the Arcane Rune.
Yeah, Arcane Rune coming in clutch. He definitely would not have had the mana for those extra little static remnants plus overload hits onto them there. Yeah, the damage is overwhelming. And though Viking does have a great amount of sustain down there, it's enough. And he is going to go for Orchid anyway. Just the item is just too good now. 3,400, 3,500 gold. Way too strong. But good response from Viking at least, right? They capitalize on the moment. Toby as well as Aramis, they get very aggressive. They get that Drow. And Toby's still, I mean, he's all the way up there, that net worth. The beauty about Doom. 1 or 2 kills plus your Devour and you're back in the game. Even after a rough lane.
Dire should look to their
He's going to have a strong farm on him. Tiger and Boxy on the hunt, heading over toward this top lane. Boxy with the coil ready to go once again.
Bottom. Toby. He's under the tower as well, too. This is a scary position to be in for this Doom.
Let's see if he can run his way out of this, Tiger. Trying for the setup. Gets the Avalanche. Not going to be able to find the toss, though. On the creep instead, as Toby's able to break into the trees and get himself away, and he is out of there. Boxy unable to find him.
Nobody else could really TP, it seemed like. I thought maybe they were asking for Mickey's TP, but I believe he had already TP'd down to bottom. So no Drow TP, no Storm mana. Not enough with the two of them there.
That's 10-minute runes. Coming up now, Aramis. Going a little too close to the three of them. Quaker finding the right places to be each and every time in this early game. 5-0 and 1 now on the Storm.
He's gonna, I feel like for Aramis this game, it's gonna be a lot harder for him to look like this tanky Spirit Breaker beast. Versus Venge and Drow, you really start to look like paper a lot of those times as these 4-position melee heroes. Already up to a 2k lead, Liquid, making all the right moves and really shutting down Boom. Look at the 0-2-1 on the bat. As we said, last pick bat, but they responded super well versus it on Liquid, both from their mid pick as well as their rotations early game so far. Making all the right moves.
Free farm for Toby does continue though. Yep. We're going to see what the John's done, so now some really good chase potential. These fights, Quaker's got to be a little careful if he overextends with the mana. Toby has the chance of running him down, getting the Doom on him.
Yeah, they still have good farm, like Toby as well as their Spectre. Still chilling, still having a pretty solid game. And naturally, you know, that Spectre's always going to be good versus Drow in the mid game. Looks like he also, I believe, has his drum finished. So I think it's fighting time, right? I think Viking is the kind of style they like to play. I think it's time to just look for the battles. But I think it's going to be battles about numbers. Just like they did last game, it's all about that mobility. Split the map up, catch Liquid when they're split up. With that relocate, with that charge. Yeah, Koifa's almost at Orchid, though.
Yeah, his farm is just... I mean, you should look at the comparison between him and Boom. You know, Boom really falling behind at this bat. This is going to be a pretty slow boost to travel timing from him this game.
Yeah.
There is little hope for...
Also getting the Arcane Ring up, of course, on Storm. Probably the best item you could get. Let's say the charge, the hot is where they're going for the numbers play.
Yeah, McKay and Insania were pushing him pretty aggressive here.
What the?
Right up by the tier 2, the two of them. As Insania, he's not out either. I mean, what were they doing there?
That's a great question there, Owen. I'm not too sure. I mean, they tried to go for... Okay, so they put a deep ward down, but...
Okay.
Not sure why they stuck around. You know the way Viking plays, especially, too, right?
Yeah, they're going to be on you as fights.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of an overzealous move there from Liquid. Looking to pressure the tower here. It gives Boxy a little bit of space, but yeah, that gets punished real quick.
Yeah, they've got to be careful pushing out just as the two of them. They're just easily going to be outnumbered.
Yeah.
Every time they're done. Like, McKay, it's sure, maybe if one of them was there, it's like one of those, you know, getting solo farm, solo XP, the chance you're going to die. But when there's two down there and they're still helpless, it's like, what was the plan?
And look at, I mean, just look at the global. Look at their lineup. That's without the relocate. That's without the lasso. That's literally just them using haunt and running at you with charge. So Viking, they still have everything at their disposal in order to expand if they would like to. Liquid still, of course, they're in a fine spot. That was just a little bit of painful, you know, unnecessary maybe deaths there from them.
Toby just 500 off the blink.
He is he's a big boy, and he's got Ice Armor creep, probably the best creep you can find versus the Drow Ranger, as Drow's ultimate only hits through main armor, as we taught on with that was last week.
His ability.
And
that plus armor.
A real force in terms of being able to get on top of the Drow as well in these fights. McKay, it's going to have to heavily rely on Insania to be around with the swap saves.
Korkva is very strong, but he's fragile. 1,000 HP, no treads, just straight for that Orchid. If he finds anybody by himself, though, it's very likely they'll get the kill. Oh,
an IO passing by.
They have a sentry down. They see him. They get the charge on him, too, so they're aware of this. And now rotations are coming. Koifa might just have to bail.
He's going to have to.
Oh.
Zip away.
All the way back to the tower. Full mana pool used. But top now.
Yeah,
opportunity from Toby.
He's just going for it. He's got the Doom down onto the tiny Insania with the swap to the side. Gets him in range at the stun. They'll turn things on to Toby. Celery comes and trying off the save. But the call's down off the two of them into the multi-shot from McKay. As Liquid will be able to clean those two up. Back over in the river though, Koifa, he hung around. And they got him. The lasso onto the Storm. Koifa, it looked like he was playing his chances there for the 14-minute power rune. It didn't spawn bottom. And already we saw he used all of his mana to get back towards the tower. So he was playing out, walking alone in the river with no way to get out.
Look at those tips. You see how much gold he just got for that kill there? 500 for Boom because there's a mega kill streak from Koifa. Juicy. But we did see what we were talking about earlier is that response that Liquid does have this time. Your versus Doom, your versus Bat, they have Venge Swap. They have a lot of different ways to bail each other out. And Boxy, cool item choices this game from him. Going for that Vessel. Not something you see the most often, but versus IO.
Yeah, someone's got to get
Doom,
it.
Someone's got to get it. Looked real good up top there as he got that coil plus vessel charge immediately. Now they've got the blink on Taiga. He just finished this one up. So they're trying to press forward here, look for those bounties, and they'll find a freebie.
Aramis just caught, stepping up into the blindness of the high ground.
And now they get some space to hit the tower. With this drow, tower gets brought down very quickly. Viking, they don't have Doom available. They have Haunt, but yeah, a bit too scared to go in here versus all 5 of Team Liquid. This is not the fights they want. They want the split fights. They don't want the head-on 5v5. They want to be going for like the numbers, take people picked off. Liquid getting active.
Here we have it. Big zip in, Toby. Dodging with the blink now, maybe with the counterplay. Viking GG coming charging across. Aramis is in, onto Quoifer. Shaq comes in with a horn into the lasso. They've caught Quoifer.
They made it look easy.
They're going to turn over for more now. Toby trying to charge in towards Mickey and Insania. They're on the retreat, Liquid.
The drums, they're popped.
This is the 5-man plays of Viking that we saw come out on top each and every time in game 1. They're just running them down, but there is a nice 3-man dream coil from Bo3. There'll be a buyback from Celery trying to come over. Mickey's going for the TPO. Is there a bash? There isn't. Mickey's out and away. We'll make it out of this one still. The chase continues.
Oh, he's going to TP to base.
Oh, he TP'd to the tower. He's
gonna go down now for that.
Oh
no.
Oh no. Oh no. I thought he was going home. He didn't.
They might get a kill though.
Let's see. They got Insania also falling. Can they find Boom as well? Zip over onto the bat. They've got the catch with the silence.
All right.
Works out. It was
a bait.
It was the plan from Mickey. Yeah. He said, let me stay on the map. We're going to bait them past this tower, and you guys are going to clean up. And that was the case. They get Boom and they get Shad because of that bait.
Yeah, Mickey's like, TP the tower. Koikva's respawning. Koikva's got the cleanup. Thank you, Koikva. And Koikva will be able to. But we see the relentless aggression. This is the Viking style.
Yeah.
Pop their drums, run up the hill. Even though you get coiled, run through the coil, get on top of the drow.
Yeah. And we do see, though, as you mentioned, Liquid being able to fight back much better than they were able to deal with it in game 1.
Oh, the Doom. The blink. Toby, the surprise. That should be able to find them a kill here.
Oh, definitely. Koifer's gone.
See ya. And they want another?
I mean, the dream goes down to the 3 of them, but Aramis is still able to get over towards Tiger. They'll lose Celery. See on the side, Insania trying to go for the swap out, but the coil's already come to an end. Jump over Tiger. Gets the avalanche onto the 3 of them. Sets up for Mickey to finish off the kill. Aramis charges in to put Mickey's damage to a stop, but Mickey still able to get that final hit over with the help of Boxy. They pick up Toby as double kill there for the puck. Liquid again able to fight back into this aggression that Viking GG are trying to bring, and they're going to turn straight towards the pit. And with the Drow and the Venge, they'll have no trouble cleaning this up before Vikings back on the map.
Yeah, I wonder why Insania didn't actually use the swap there on Spirit Breaker. I thought he would just get another kill when he was TPing out. He saved the charge. Maybe he wanted to save it defensively. Either way, they won the fight because of the positioning. Great spot there for Mickey to be standing. Boxy as well as Taiga did a great job zoning those heroes away.
Yeah, and it's the last few fights have sort of kicked off on the death of Quoifer, but it's worked out fine for Liquid. You know, Quoifer keeps getting jumped. It doesn't matter. The rest of Liquid, the 4 of them, can fight back against Viking.
Oh, Quoifer, though. You were mentioning him. And look, the vacuum lasso.
All right, drags him back. Quoifer, last bit of mana, it's gone.
Staging a comeback.
That's the Aegis. Do they have another way to set up?
There's nobody coming to help him, but as you say, he's going to have the full mana.
Charge through the creep. He tried to get him, but yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, that's all they have, just that bash from the charge.
It's a clever little charge there play, but... All right, just like that, they punch back and get rid of that Aegis real quick. A little bit of a... I love seeing that in a vacuum lasso, right? Just pulls him back out of his zip no matter what.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the reasons for it, right? Because nowadays you're not invulnerable during the zip. So he casted it before he started to zip. He zips past him, and then it pulls him out of the ball lightning, right?
Something like... I mean...
So that's why it looks a little awkward, because he's getting pulled out of the ult.
I mean, sometimes we've seen that one happen so much. Like, Mirana leaps away, and then you get lassoed after the leap. You know, it's just an interaction. It's a feature, right? It's a feature. Insania, he's going to start getting pretty farmed. You see he's gotten that Philosopher's Stone. Medallion finished up. Perfect item build for him. Good item build for his team, right? Of course, the Medallion benefits a lot. Not the best item versus, I guess, Vikings. But it's still your Avenge. What else do you buy? It's just such a good item. There's just a lot of magic damage on the side of Viking early on. That doesn't really provide so much against it. But such a good item. Aramis, he'll stay bottom, try to protect his Spectre, pass off that Dragon Scale. He also has a medallion himself to counteract that heavy physical damage that Liquid has.
The ultimate sacrifice.
And oh, who got the courier? Taiga did? I think that was the Manta, right?
I think that was his ultimate orb, yeah.
I think that
it was sat at the shop. Did he buy up?
I think he might have charged. They're making the plays. They've got the global.
All right, and they go with the on straight up towards that top outpost. They'll take out Quakefa. They'll also find Taiga. Taiga tries for a TP out, but he ain't getting out in time.
Big jump by Toby.
I mean, it feels kind of weird because we've now seen Quakefa die like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be mattering too much for Liquid. I mean, it's not going to change. Can they really just keep playing like this with Quakefa sort of just dying to Viking whilst the rest of the team farms, or is this going to start to hit Liquid in the face soon?
I think it's going to start hitting him in the face soon. It's a Drow versus Spectre lineup. Like, naturally, the Drow is going to start becoming a lot more difficult for Mickey as the game progresses. They need a secondary carry.
Yeah, so like Quakefa making space by dying over and over again, it's just not going to be good enough.
No, definitely not. Especially not in the position that he's dying, where he's died on his side of the map. They had to expend quite a lot for him, though. They did have to use pretty much everything, so it's how Liquid capitalize off of it next. But they lost their Aegis. He's died a couple times. See what Mickey does with this space, though, as Quakefa's game has halted quite significantly. He's pretty much tied in net worth with the Bat Rider, a couple chain deaths. Now, like we said, though, ultimates were used. Let's see how Liquid responds. They have to try to make some type of aggressive move. 4K lead. They're walking into the high ground.
Oh, look at the catch on to Aramis. And we'll be the man to tank the gank. Everyone else is out.
You had your warning.
This move's going to get a little harder to do now that Celery does have his mech complete, so extra bit of burst save potential.
No mech on the side of Liquid either, so they're always going to have to factor that into their team fights. And wow, that's actually almost a BKB on Doom. That makes his game a lot easier. There's still, like we said, a lot of straight physical damage that comes out from Liquid, but if he ice armors himself and then BKBs, he has good ways to just get into Mickey onto the backline.
Yeah, he's pretty much always going to be able to get his Doom off.
Yeah.
In these fights, unlikely that they sort of tear him apart before he steps up.
Yeah.
And drops it down.
See that, they have that ward top too, so they're scouting where the Drow's position.
And you really sort of start to see the hit that Quakefa's game's taken with those deaths on his item timing, because it was a very quick orchid, but it's been quite a few minutes since he had that finished up, and he's only just picked up the Kyre on top of it.
Wow,
so.
okay, yeah, he's very slowed down.
Yeah.
Does he still have the Arcane Ring on Quakefa? Actually, was trying to.
He must be holding on to it, right?
No, okay, got the essence.
Oh,
sorry, that's right. He did have essence. Yeah. I was wondering if they were going to give him the Vambrace, because it's actually a lot of damage that you get amped up from the spell damage alone, just from the double null thing that you get from it. But they gave it to Bo3 for now, so it's like this is survivability because he's struggling. So.
Yeah, exactly. He's still 1200 HP, so that essence ring boost to the HP is going to make all the difference. Top. Aramis going to be safe. The haunt comes out. Toby's in with the BKB. Quakefa has a DD rune. Can he fight with it? So he seems a little scared. He's trying to get away.
Good swap, disengage.
Okay. Inside of the pit. They're going to turn back over towards the high ground. Look towards Bo3. Bo3 goes over with the orb. We'll be able to pick the kill up on the Io. Aramis getting burst slow. Quakefa coming in to try and go for the finisher, and he's able to find it. Takes out Aramis. This time, Liquid, they'll find themselves the two supports. Insania with the swap back onto Boom will get him back in reach of Mickey as they find themselves 3. Over towards Toby they look. Toby will have the movement speed to make it away. Liquid, they are able to turn and hit back hard there in that fight. I mean, Toby commits in as the Doom. Wasn't able to find an opportunity to use his ultimate, though. Didn't find a target.
I think the Shadow Blade caught them off guard. I saw the Haunt come out, the Doom blink on top of Mickey, and then he just Shadow Blade and got swapped away. And they reset the fight so beautifully on the side of Liquid. Yeah, I don't think Viking was prepared for that one, because they used their Haunt, they used their lasso, they tried to jump in the backs, but just couldn't get the right targets. Now Dusts definitely will be bought in preparation to deal with that, but a big win for Liquid. They can back up, get themselves some much needed breathing room, in particular for Quakefa. Shad's still farming, like he's still a beast, and it's always going to be a concern. You have a Drow Ranger lineup versus a Spectre, and this Spectre is not dying. Although you are keeping a good lead, it's always something to keep in the back of your minds. Taiga. He wants the ward.
He's going to get it. So yeah, still this 7k lead for Liquid. the draft has definitely worked out in the sense that they are able to play the Dota that Vikings been bringing to them.
Yeah.
But this Spectre does still remain pretty spooky, and is only going to get spookier as the minutes pass.
So we'll always have a damage for him though, right? Like, especially because of the itemization. If he ever does choose to go for, let's say, Silver Edge, even though it's kind of a weird item to get on Drow,
I think he probably still will
eventually.
Yeah,
It's
out the slot. It's
still
some
fine.
stats.
It's still fine. Yeah, exactly.
And the break is always going to be essential, especially in the late game.
And they just have so much damage anyway. Insania looks like he'll be the one they walk into. They're trying to save the lasso here, but Boom now is in trouble.
I'm going to put the BKB. Does go for the lasso now onto Insania. The horn comes out as well. Toby charges in Mickey. He's going to get doomed. They've got themselves the target. They've found the Drow. Isolated Mickey as there's no save for him with Insania already out of the fight. Charge across as well from Aramis. He's trying to go for a further target, looking for Quakefer. Quakefer still with some mana ready to play with as he gets himself up to the high ground. Quakefer will live. Viking finally able to get back and on the level of finding these moves where they get Mickey out of it. And with Mickey gone, that is a huge amount of the damage that Liquid have been able to get off in these team fights, so it makes it suddenly very hard for Liquid to fight back once the Drow's out.
Yeah, Liquid can't. As soon as the Liquid gets seen with the smoke, right? That feels like when the fight's almost impossible because Hawk gets popped and they have so many ways to collapse on top of Mickey. It feels like Liquid has to be the ones that are doing the initiation in order to protect that Drow Ranger. There's so many different forms of vision and aspect. Yeah, Doom and Spectre's missing. You see the way that Boxy's saying it. It's just like these two heroes, they're gonna beeline on top of Mickey every fight, especially because, like we mentioned, Quakefa's game got slowed down. They can kind of start to think about Quakefa later on. He doesn't really deal out that much damage, so just focus Drow, then look for him.
And Taiga finds himself catch onto Aramis, tossed back into the magic missile. Celery's going to be in with the save though. The coil comes out a little too late. Celery gets him out. Celery, of course,
they're coming to fight.
Magic missile, Celery tethers across over towards the Spectre, but he gets pulled back. Quakefa takes out the IO. His BKB's worn off. The swap trying to separate Toby from Mickey. Mickey tries to go for the body shot, but Aramis charges across Mickey, hits onto Quakefa into the ultimate. Taiga surrounded by the illusions of Shad. Taiga trying to run. Quakefa and Boxy will finish the kill onto Aramis. It's a 3 for 3. Shad backing onto Quakefa. Quakefa, very little mana left to play with, uses his last reserves to get himself into the river.
The dagger? Not quite going to be able to chase him forward there. They clean up Toby. They can't deal with Shad, though.
I mean, that is the problem. I mean, even in this fight where the results end up being even, I mean, if anything, Liquid out on top a little bit by the goal due to Celery making that investment at the buyback at the end of it all. But yeah, that definitely seems to worry. Shad in that fight, I don't think he ever got lower than half HP. No. This Spectre starting to really look like an issue for Liquid, despite Liquid as a team still being ahead overall.
It's just, there's so many different ways for them to get on top of Mickey. This charge at the end there, beautiful, comes through pretty much everybody, hits 3 or 4 targets. The Doom, the Spectre Haunt, the Batrider, everything just gets popped, and Mickey's just in panic mode, right? You have to just kind of hold your ground, hope to the best you can get those right clicks, because they just have so many tools. Now an Eye of Scotty finished up too, so that slow is going to come into play. Shad is very scary, even though Liquid has an 8k gold lead. This Spectre is something out of control right now.
And it's sort of what you said as well, that seems to be the biggest thing that stands to be the difference. The fact that, sure, both Boom and Quakefa, their individual games have slowed down a lot. You know, Quakefa is slightly ahead, but still as this Storm his item progression has really slowed down. I think he's nearly got the Bloodstone done over the Orchid. But that's just put so much pressure on Mickey as the Drow. Whereas on Viking side, sure, it's a lot of pressure on the Spectre. It doesn't matter. It's a Spectre.
It's a Spectre. Exactly.
Spectre. I mean, is there any other way they could sort of itemize towards it? I mean, you're looking at anything else on the team that they could get to deal with this Spectre better, or to keep the Drow safe? As we get ourselves back into the action and actually straight back into a fight.
What the heck?
That looks to have gone very well for Liquid.
Wait, 3 are dead.
All right.
I mean, did Liquid smoke?
I mean, that's going to be Roche as well for them.
Oh, and a regen rune. All right, well, I think we just missed maybe the potential, like, huge fight for Liquid.
They didn't get the Spectre, though. But this was a fight, without the horn.
But
a very good fight nonetheless for Liquid, as this will give them the tools to maybe start poking towards the high ground and trying to do more whilst the horn is down.
I'm assuming that they must have just smoked on the situation, like right when they had the chance. Like look for the fight, because there was no Doom, there was no Haunt available, so they just found the heads-up place, got 3 of them there. And, I mean, that's a huge place to take it too, right in front of the Roche pit, and they get a regen rune, and can't quite get Boom, but yeah. Pretty huge, and I believe it was right after Bloodstone was picked up too. So
yes, I imagine he's got the Bloodstone charges up from that.
Yep. All right, I mean, massive. And now Boxy has a full. This is the item that I was actually going to say that they need in order to protect the Drow is that Aghanims on Puck, because those BKBs that are out, he can actually prevent, and they can do fun plays always. You always have the potential for Puck and Venge, especially with Ags, that super long duration break when you swap out a coil. They can catch people off guard.
Yeah, they got multiple ways, right?
Toss
the
back.
Toss, even the push from the Gust, right? I mean, even the pull from the Vortex. Technically, it's sure it's a little harder with those because the amount of movement done to the enemy isn't that great. But there is the chance. There's a lot of push and pulls from Liquid's lineup.
Yeah, Boxy's having a killer game. He had the Lincolns, he has the full Ags, he's got the full Vessel. Yeah. Doing a very good job for his team right now with the Blink 2 on top, level 22.
Yeah, that last fight put quite from Boxy back on the map in terms of farm. They're right back up there.
7-1 and 13 on Boxy. He's really displaying right now this off-lane Puck that we don't get to see too often.
There we go, smoke on smoke. Viking.
Well, no Doom available for a second.
Can Boom find the jump? He's going to spot out Insane here. He's going to try and look to start things on it, but Tiger's in with the counterplay. They'll still commit with the lasso. Look to drag down the Vengeful Spirit. Here goes the horn. Can Shap find the target? He's looking over towards the backlines, trying to go towards this tiny, but quite from Boxy. They're already in. They're taking out Aramis. Mickey with the multi-shots turns. Focus is Shad. Shad being chased down by Quaifa. Quaifa now goes over towards the easier kill of Boom. Will get it. The Doom is down onto Mickey. As they have managed to eliminate the Drow, there'll be a buyback from Boom. As Viking, they're trying to put more resources in this to win this fight, but the Spectre, Shad's in trouble. Quaifa, lower mana, gets one more remnant out. Quaifa will fall for it. That's the Aegis gone. Boom, he bought back for this one. He's trying to find Tiger, but it looks like it's going to be a dieback from Boom. He cannot turn this one around on his own as the bat out for a second time. Liquid's lead continuing to grow. Despite a few casualties themselves, still a very solid fight for Liquid as they hold their own.
Yeah, they get 3-man coiled. They get on top of the Drow, but at that point, they'd already lost so many of their tools. Mickey, great positioning, sitting in the back lines, just firing his arrows onto 3 heroes. Yeah, continuing to take really good fights on Liquid. Even if their main carry kind of dies, that one they have the Aegis, and Boxy's just reaping all the rewards. Boxy's like, thank you. I'm up to almost level 25 now on Puck. Having a dream performance, really. Him and Taiga surviving throughout all of it, the entirety of that fight, as you see them all the way jumped up in those levels, 24 and 21.
Yeah, some insane levels actually coming out from Liquid Zeros.
Yeah, they could not get on top of that Drow fast enough, though, right? That 3-man coil controlled the majority of Viking, so they couldn't get on top of Mickey.
What? Go on, well, you know this game, Fog.
Of course.
I have no idea what was happening.
That was Clockwork and Techies.
What was going on?
That was mid lane.
That was the mid lane.
That was the mid lane. Techies and Clockwork. You see Rattletrap. That's my boy Rattletrap right there. Oh god, Dota 1 looks so terrible. I forgot how you can't even see what anything is anymore.
I like that. Very nice. See, I would have commentated, but I mean, I never played the game, so
you can still tell what's going on.
I could tell there was like some pixels in the mid lane and some units.
The map feels a lot bigger. That's the one thing that you have to get really used to in Dota 1. Immediately when you look at it, the screen just looks massive.
Well, is that because the map was actually bigger or the models just smaller?
I think it was a bit of both. A bit of everything there. It always felt like the map was bigger for me when I played. I haven't played Dota 1 in 4 years though. So I tried to play an Earth Spirit 4 years ago and I couldn't even find my stones. I was so lost. It was so tough
I imagine
to play.
The buttons would all be very different. Oh, Tiger. Gonna catch himself. Doom outside of the base.
Toby. as well as Celery. And now, looks like they actually got an Axe Coil on the Spectre as well.
Shad, but swap to the side. They're fighting back to try and save him, but Shad, I don't think they can. He's gone. Liquid looking to clean this one up. No chance for the Spectre to carry this one away. As he's finishing the show with a bam. As triple kill for him. The 4 of them dead. The mass tips coming out on Toby there from Liquid.
He bought back and died just immediately. They probably know they can just maybe just end the game here. They have quite a long time without Spectre. 60 seconds. They have Drow Venge. Yeah,
that's a huge window to finish this one. Yeah, Liquid.
I think they can go tier 4s after this tower with their lineup.
Yeah, they really wisened up their plan draft after game 1. They came in with this fighting lineup.
Get into those tier 4s. Insania knows he's pinging.
It's time to end this one.
End this game. Solid plays there. Even though versing a very farm Spectre throughout the majority of it, Mickey has stayed on top. Boxy as well. Perfect performance by this puck. Always being in the right place, right time. Yeah, they should be able to end this one right now.
Tier 4's down onto the Ancient. They've got the 2 of them alive, but Celery gets popped straight away by the combo. The Ancient will fall. GG is called, and Liquid will strike back here in game 2, bringing it to a 1-1. And yeah, I mean they look very hot doing it. There's a little sort of bit of a clowny plays early, a lot of deaths on Quoifer, but he really picked his game back up. There was that period where he died like the 4 times.
$1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more. Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Cypher coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, grab the long ground, on to 3, Zep as well as M1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but there is no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Showered looking for a Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shower pops the refresher. Not enough. Maybe it's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get off the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howl brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the Fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he gets, no, he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Na'Vi is down. Can you say mega creeps? Na'Vi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Na'Vi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven. Turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Deadly. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's light of heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead once, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment, and all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kunkka. The stolen Finch and Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, Blink, Dragon Tail Stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. They're going to bite Samel. The Colt's Burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see. CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal.
OG right behind Arme. Gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find the stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline. The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawkshot, she stuns on the way through. Is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder by once again. The Sunder switches to life. Army's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. Seven from the side with a take on Army, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Miranda. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here. Look, opting to tank up even more. Rolling boulder from Seth misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out. They have the Magnetize. They get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The Exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through. He has no Infest. He has the Armlet Toggle. Needs to be careful. The Spirit Siphon coming out. The Glimpse back onto aggressive. Gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time, though. The Open Wounds will come through. They have the Kinetic Shield. There's the Black Hole. From the long ground. On to 3. Step as well as M1 are going to get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Shower looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get off the Static Storm. Shower pops the refresher. Down enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get off the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the Fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe, waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep, the surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Ame. Ame's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. And all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stall of Finch and Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
But this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item.
5 seconds.
But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, Blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna fights Samel. The Colts burn. The Colts burn bought them a little bit of extra time.
He's listening to this
No,
show.
and
With
I
Samel
don't know
down.
what she said, Chiefs, because I wasn't listening. That's the trouble.
But then how do you know you missed it?
Because, like,
what if she was saying, like, derp derp or whatever?
What if she wasn't talking to you to begin with? You have a lot of siblings.
It's true.
How many siblings do you have?
4.
Whoa.
How about you? You see,
I only
you strike
have
me
one.
like an only child.
No, I have an older brother.
He bully you?
Nah. He was actually protecting me, you know. He was
Older brother or
very
younger
caring.
brother?
Older brother, yeah.
Brother.
Yeah,
I
a
also
lot of
have
older brothers are good like that.
I also have an older brother. He's
I was a
great.
player too.
I was
What
an
were you,
older sister.
player 4 or 5?
Younger sister.
I was definitely player 1.
Player 1? Okay.
We are not talking about. I was bringing up my sisters during the conversations, and production is like, "Oh, you're talking about Jenkins? He's waiting right now in the draft panel." So let's go there.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Jenkins was indeed waiting patiently, ever so patiently. Couldn't even wait for the second series. We had to kick T-Governor off. As we enter Game 3 of Liquid versus Viking GG. Jenkins, Lizard, welcome back. And
Thank you.
it's proving to be a competitive series. We originally looked at the 3 series that were coming up today. It looked like there were clear favorites, clear underdogs, based off of how the group stage was going and based off of competitive experience. This one was probably going to be the most competitive, and unsurprisingly, it's coming to a Game 3.
We did finish off a day as well with EG Enigma, which was extremely competitive right before. But this one is up there. It's very competitive too. I would still favor Liquid just a little bit from their historical value, from their for just sticking together for such a long time and facing tier 1 teams, you know, tournaments and taking games. And also you can see it on the betting odds, right? They're always favored no matter what the draft is.
You know, the funny thing is,
tell me, Jenkins,
I swear to God, this first draft, Liquid won that draft. And then the second draft, I think Viking won the draft.
Really?
And it flip-flopped, you know?
It seems that way if you considered how the game was played a month ago. A month ago, the draft from Liquid wins in the first game, and the draft of Liquid loses in the second game. But the game has been changed a little bit.
That's fair.
The pace of the game is faster, and teams are picking up. So from now on, we might see more and more of these Darkseer +1 combos, your Wisp +1 combos. your Miranas, your basically heroes that are extremely mobile, especially if we see something like a Phoenix in the game, because that just pressures him out of the map. Viking GG, they open up with something a bit slower this time around, Rubik plus Magnus, and Team Liquid with a good old combo of Darkseer plus Earth Spirit.
I find it a little bit suspicious that Liquid lets the IO go through for a third game and Viking GG don't opt for it for the first time.
That is a little suspicious.
What's all that about?
You know, it's almost
going
as
on
if,
here?
It's almost as if Liquid knew that it would get picked, and they prepared a strat, and it looks like Viking has sniffed it out. They know, and man, they don't pick up Magnus that often on Viking. This is a total, 360 of the draft, as they say, turning completely around.
Right, and still yet in the same direction, because the direction's probably buffing up a 1 position. If you're not going to do it with Io, why not do it with a Magnus?
Well, that's, yeah.
Overall, Magnus is banned quite often, right? So that's also one of the reasons why he can't be picked up.
That's true.
Team Liquid, they might go the way of EG and pick the Void Spirit versus him for the laning stage. Perhaps not necessarily straight away, because this Magnus still can be your position 3 offlane. But it's one of those heroes that is extremely meta and also works versus Magnus in the lane. Now, he did win with Magnus versus Void Spirit and with Void Spirit versus Magnus, so it's kind of depending on the player too. But we'll see where Liquid takes this one away. They banned out the AM. Now they're thinking about another core that benefits from Magnus and his Empower. They ban out just the Alchemist. That's what they don't want to play against.
You know what I've been thinking about? And this goes back to what you were saying about a month ago. We'd be having totally different discussions about the draft. Heroes like Magnus, especially when they get buffed, and Slardar, which we're seeing coming back, these heroes change carry matchups so much. You think of like a Spectre versus Sven. Who wins that? It's like, well, clearly Spectre, right? This is the late game, the queen of Dota. But with the new Aghanims on Sven, not so much. With the new buffs on Sven, not so much. With the Magnus in power, there it is. It's like these things basically make it so that, man, you need some crazy wombo from Liquid. You need some crazy steroids in order to outcarry this.
Usually you don't even need the steroids for Sven. Look at him. He's so buffed up. He's so gotchy. This dude does not need your help.
But he
doesn't want the empower.
Against the queen.
He's like empowered the Rubik. I don't care. I've been to the gym 365 out of 365. I'm here to fight, and he really is. Especially when he's playing versus Darkseer and Earth Spirit. Just think about this lane. How do you pressure a Sven? Like, he'll farm under the tower constantly, and you can't even dive him.
I feel like a lot of people have been citing the Aghanim Scepter as one of the reasons why Sven has made a reemergence in the meta, but his God Strength duration.
It's God Strength, Jim. It really is.
Let me specify this, because I've been one of those people that's like, the Aghs is broken.
Let's hear it.
It's the fact that the Aghs is good, but he's not a shit hero either.
Right.
It's like, you throw that Aghs spell on any other good carry and it's going to be good. But I think Sven without the Aghs is a dog trash hero, even with the new God Strength, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way.
All right, so 2 buffs made him good, because this Aghanim Scepter got added, quite a while ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
And teams started playing around it. I've casted a lot of tournaments, seen a lot of players that would try Sven with Aghanims first. And in some games it looks amazing, but the hero still wasn't strong enough. Now with the God Strength changes plus that Aghanims,
he needed that.
It can work.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that he has to go for the Aghanims route. There are still other item builds that you can go for. But Echo Saber Aghanims looks pretty solid. When we come back to Team Liquid, they went for Grimstroke Ricky. It's a pretty
classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a pretty strong laning stage. It's a hero as well. That's
Wow, they got dude. Speaking of steroids, they got all the good steroids.
Dude, my boy Sven brought all his boys to the gym. He got 2 spotters right now.
Yeah. He's gonna get
the
kicked
gym
out.
bros.
Yeah,
the real gym bros, right?
There's social distancing issues with this, because I think they're going to be very close to each other.
And this isn't just Slardar being good for the Sven in general, but now you have True Sight with the corrosive haze.
This is true.
That's very true. You are revealing that your Magnus is mid, so perhaps Team Liquid can abuse that somehow. Slardar on the offlane versus Ricky and Grimstroke also shouldn't really suffer that hard. depending on who will be there with him. Should it be the Rubik, or will they pick something else? I think it should be the Rubik. And that's a pretty solid lane for them already.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that's you can deal with the Ricky being Inkswelled too. You just press your stun and walk away, and you have a sprint, so it's not just an insta kill, you know.
Yeah, the way the Inkswell works, you need like some duration on heroes to actually get a stun duration.
Exactly.
And you have lift as well from Rubik. But you can still get it. Like Rubik is definitely a target.
I was gonna say, I think they have to go for the Rubik.
You can slow him with Stroke of Fate and the level 1 lift, which is the maximum amount of lifts that you're gonna get there. You're not leveling that spell anymore. Because of that, he's susceptible to dying. You can take him out.
I will say it's very peculiar to be looking for a 5 position, most likely from Viking GG, as the final pick. That is something we don't see very often in drafts.
I would say like, it could be a Magnus 5 because people have done it before, but not against Dark Seer with Sven. Like you need something to secure the lane.
It could be just Enchantress. It's not banned. Oh, it's first banned. First hero that was banned.
I'm thinking like Jakiro. There's no purges left from what I'm seeing in terms of like taking out the shell, but Jakiro at least can like blow up the wave, and it's a ranged hero to pair with Sven. It's a really good kill combo. Is Phoenix banned? I would assume Phoenix
it's comboed with Magnus as well, right? You have that Ice Bat after.
Exactly.
It's pretty solid. Jakiro is overall like you're no brainer when it comes to a position 5. That's pretty much always good. I like the Void, the Void Spirit ban is pretty good. Coming from Viking GG, something that we mentioned earlier. Now that you have given your cards away, like you showed your hand that Magnus is mid, like you ban out one hero that's in the meta and that deals with Magnus. I'm wondering, maybe Team Liquid will pick something different. Maybe they'll...
I think Necro is a really good pick for them right now. They're playing against 3 melee strength guys. I was thinking Timber, but he gets shredded by the minus armor. Like Necro, I do not see how you kill a Necro with these heroes. I think a Necro just runs away with this game.
You don't. Necro would be fantastic for them. And you can't really counter him with your position 5 last pick, because most of those heroes that
they're banned because of the Darkseer.
They're banned because of the Darkseer.
Yeah, well, you want all the dispels and they're all gone.
Exactly. That's pretty interesting, actually. That
I guess you could justify an earlier nullifier from Sven, but that's something that you need later on in the game.
Yeah, Sven's not a big... I mean, I suppose he does have the Dispel talent, which
it's true on the Stormhammer.
That's a very late timing to play against a Necro, and I feel like Necro at that point is just like, all right, bud, like he's gonna have a Lotus Orb at that point, and he just reflects the stun. So it's not so.
You can see Team Liquid with their last ban. They're just aiming damage amplification. They're dealing with a Vengeful.
Is that a Venge ban?
Yeah, I think it's an overkill even, but it's pretty solid. It helps you with the swap, and you also have that Wave of Terror, which is pretty sick. The Aura comes in handy, but the minus armor would be too much to deal with.
Yeah, they can definitely just
how about a Shadow Demon would maybe make some stacks for Sven, have a Dispel for... I mean, you don't know if it's going to be a Necro or something like that. Why don't you get a Snapfire?
This is just player preference. It doesn't mean that the Grandma is fantastic here. It's a solid hero, but it really does come down to player preference. Your last pick was a position 5. Celery played Grandma multiple times. It's a hero they just go back to.
Dude, I feel like Necro, you're playing into 4 strength heroes, bro. Oh, okay, Zeus. Well, that's, percentage damage. That's probably should have seen that one coming too.
It's kind of a squishy team on Liquid, though.
Yeah, very squishy.
Your cores are going to struggle like that. Like, they get hitting 3 shots by the Sven, and they're going to be at critical HP.
I do love the idea of picking some strength Punisher right now, though. Like you're kind of asking for it if you're Viking. They also have potentially 3 Blink heroes, probably 2. Sven's not really much of a Blink builder anymore, but you really
have Aghanim, you don't need Blink.
Yeah,
right? Like, it's even better.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
It's not only the flying Superman motion, it also gives you a ton of range that can catch you off guard. Plus, someone gets a telescope, suddenly Zeus isn't really in a really good position throughout these team fights.
Still kind of favoring Liquid. Unsurprisingly, they took game 1.41 to 2.76 on EGB.com. Lizard, how do you feel? Which way are we going so far in this draft?
I'm not sold with this EGB odds, man. Like,
you're giving Viking more respect.
Yeah,
They've
I'm giving,
impressed
like,
you.
in the second game, I thought Spectre was solid, but I saw what Team Liquid had in their lineup. Like these combos with Drow were really strong. However, this time around, it's just Team Liquid looks fast, looks mobile, but this is a rock on the side of Viking GG, and it doesn't care. You can just bash your head against it. I'll go with Viking GG.
Jenkins, how about you? You got your boy Zeus. You got a strength Punisher, but enough punishment.
It's a tough one because I don't see, unless the Ricky pops off, how they stop Sven from jungling and getting huge. And I think the Zeus-Sven matchup is, Zeus likes to be in that one, even with the exchange, but not when Sven has 2 items on you.
And do you care about the jungle if you're Sven? What's the pressure on the lane? Earth Spirit and Darkseer.
There's no
doesn't
pressure.
work.
There's
like
no pressure.
this Sven will
It's
have,
Ricky. Like Ricky's the only hero that needs to pop off to actually stop Sven from farming. So I'm gonna go Viking actually.
Then let's see if this Grimstroke Ricky combination is going to be effective enough to get Viking GG an upset as we move forward into Game 3 and send it over to our casters.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it does look like the Ricky Grimstroke. It is very strong. It's got a lot of fast-paced potential. But do you sort of share the same worries the draft panel when it comes down to the fact that they're just rather squishy, these heroes?
They're very squishy in their versus Corrosive Haze. Slardar, pretty good hero. We don't get to see it too much, but this hero packs a punch. This hero is also very good versus invisibility heroes. Corrosive Haze, a good ability versus a Ricky in particular in the game.
Yeah, and it's just going to be interesting to see if Liquid are able to do the damage. Sure, as Power touched upon, there is that Zeus. He's going to help a little bit sort of chunk through these tanky, high HP heroes. But that's the thing, they are pretty much, apart from the Ruby, they're all
very
HP heroes,
yeah.
which we did see be a little bit of the downfall for Liquid in Game 1, where they were playing against this tanky lineup that just, come that sort of 12-minute plus mark where Viking GG is running at you. Do you actually have the tools to jump in and get a kill?
Yeah, and it's very tanky heroes with lots of burst damage, right? Last game they had this kind of... They didn't really have burst, but they had this constant damage, right? Firefly, Dooms ticking, Scorched Earth is ticking, all these type of different things ticking. This time, they have Fade Bolt, they have Shockwave, they have Nuke from Grandma, they have Nuke from Sven. Lots of different forms of nukes, which they played really well around when they ran aggressive. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what Koikva can do. I think him and the Ricky have to pop off this game. Because bottom, I don't see them being able to, just because I think it's a really strong lane from Viking. And I'm worried about them getting the invasion plays. I am really worried about them pressuring the Sven in the jungle. Some other fun interactions I guess we do have when the game does build up later is Grandma in this game is actually... I actually really like playing Snapfire versus both Grimstroke and Zeus as the game progresses, because your little Shredder, you can just kill the Phantom's Embrace pretty much instantly before it even gets onto a target, so the silence gets countered really hard. Same thing for Nimbus. If Zeus gets a Nimbus later on, Snapfire solo kills it. You just little Shredder hit it, and it's gone. So there's a couple different things we can look out for as the game does progress. That'll be way later on, of course, but...
Look at this as well. Do you like this from Aramis? I don't know. I'm pretty sure this isn't the standard, but he's come to lane with the full sort of tanky fight, but he's bought 6 tangos. He's got a circlet and 3 branches on this Rubik, going for these early stats.
So I saw GH do it. I've seen a couple people now doing this. You just go for this straight right-click build. I think it was actually GH that did that, and they gave him a bottle from his... the 3 position gave him a bottle, and he was just so strong. Yeah. Like, he could actually trade hits. Sometimes the problem with Rubik is you can't trade hits, but when you have this with Fade Bolt, you can take any type of battle. And yeah, I love this Grandma pick. I think this Snapfire is so good versus pretty much everybody on the side of... Pretty much everyone on the side of Liquid, except for, I guess, like Ricky and Earth Spirit can work against him, but I think it's still just a... They level 2, though.
Let's see what they can do. They're going to jump one to Aramis, but
He's tanky.
yeah, with these stats and the Fairy Fire, he's a hard man to pop. And with all the tangos that he brought to lane for the 2 of them, they've got the sustain to just continuously heal themselves up against the harassment from Insania and Mika.
Mika gets that last hit, a little bit of faster attack speed. Oh, Courier. Oh no. Will he get his items delivered? I think he did. Might pay with his life though. Nice kick away there from Ty, protecting his buddy.
Just making sure that Boxy won't take any further hits from the 2 of them. On top lane, another bit of an attempt with the Ink Swirl and the Tricks the Trade. Toby getting low, going to try and bring down Insania first, and will be able to do so. First blood for Viking, as they're the ones to find the kill.
This is the fun lane. I think this is the lane that we should be keeping most of our eyes on, because I believe it's going to be just back and forth attempts at trading kills. Don't think bottom should be like too exciting. I think the Sven should just free farm for the most part here. Mid, I guess.
Yeah,
this one
it's just back and forth, pushing, farming, isn't it? You know, you get to see both heroes farm pretty quickly. I mean, you'd imagine that the Magnus will still take over in farm, as he's just going to clean up the camps at a pace that the Zeus cannot match.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going. Is he doing the new Zeus build we call it that everyone's talking about?
The 402. 402. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see in a second as they're trying to pressure Mick at top. He's got a triple range creep. He's trying to make sure that they don't just get free last hits, but inevitably Slaughter will. So I guess we'll see. We'll see you soon. But I believe it's he's going for the new Zeus build that everybody does.
Yeah. So what's for some of the viewers out there? What's the logic behind this build? I mean, it was what sort of Thompson who started to do this first?
I think so. I mean, I think maybe there was a couple others, but I know Thompson was one that was really starting to do a lot of his pubs. You just push the lane out. You literally just spam your nuke. You push lane out, and they can never really pressure you, and then you farm the side or whatever.
It's just what the bottom. Do get the cookie onto Boxy, but it's still holding onto the Surge, so we'll be fine. And this is just what more valuable than sort of getting constant mana sent out to you and spamming Lightning Bolt at the enemy mid.
Yeah, it's just the thing is now it's all about farming, right? And now if you just go for that Lightning Bolt build, they just buy more regen and then they out farm you, and then you're not getting last hits and you're spending all your mana on harassment rather than actually becoming stronger. So you look at those last hits.
Yeah.
If Zeus went for just Lightning Bolt,
he'd be getting destroyed.
He'd be getting destroyed. Yeah. He wouldn't be able to last hit because now you at least have that 150 tool or that 120 whatever it is at that level 2 or 100 at level 2 to be able to go for those last hits. So
trying to go for Toby.
Yeah. Damage.
Have they got enough? The lift up there, dragging Mickey back will save Toby.
But he's got no regen and he brought Gloves of Haste. They will have a salve from Aramis at least to bail him out. Meanwhile, the bottom, it did end up finding the kill onto Boxy. Sven continuing to get free farm, and look at this Darkseer's last hits.
Where are they?
They're not there.
No, 6 last hits so far for Boxy.
Yeah, he's struggling. Really struggling. Looking at these bounties, looks like it should be a 2 for 2, but Liquid's setting up for the kill here to try to get an extra one. But Shad also sets up aggressive to take the bottom one, and they might even be able to find Taiga too.
Oh, they're getting a few kills down here.
Oof.
As Viking, I mean, for the first time for the series, we've seen what in the first 2 games. Liquid happened the squad to come out top lane.
Nice. Okay.
Still able to jump over towards Aramis. Thunder God's Wrath comes out. Aramis pops the ferret fire, the bash. To Mickey. Toby able to hold Mickey in place so that Aramis can get away. Mickey's going to take quite a bit of a punch in return. Tiger will come in time to keep Mickey alive and get the kill on Toby.
Nice rotation by Tiger. Oh, the stats on the Rubik just keep making him live every single time. But Boxy now will be able to get away. We'll lose his courier. But those at least keep himself alive for the moment. And look at this by Shad. A bit of a different item play here. Yeah, we'll see bottom. Boxy gets annihilated, but yeah, they get the chase off afterwards. Interesting choice here by Shad. Phase boots.
Oh.
He just wants that little bit of extra movement speed, I think, just to be able to get on top of these heroes. Also, the armor. He's going to be real tanky. This Ricky.
Yeah.
Phase boots plus Warcry versus Ricky.
Okay.
It's mostly magic damage on the side of Team Liquid, but I think what he really wants is just that extra little bit of push of speed.
I think so. You know, it could be very, very, very good against the smoke screen in particular as well. When those sort of big game silencers coming, you're unable to do anything. You cannot turn and fight until you're out of it, and you're able to pop your war cry, your god strength. So, yeah, that movement speed making all the difference in that sense. And because you are going for this Midas build,
you'll have attack speed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to have that front covered.
Took the words out of my mouth. Taiga continues to play up toward that top side. Just wants to secure Mickey. Just keep the Slaughter down a little bit here. I don't think you want Toby to hit an early level 6 if he gets a kill somehow here.
No.
I like this play around here. I think he already knows too. Bottom is, disaster. Nice play by Taiga. Second time this game he's done that, where he's walked into a tower range, not under normal vision, and spots out a ward because of it. Very good awareness by this Spirit. Oh, another Arcane ready for Koifa. Back-to-back games.
And 2 excellent heroes for them as well.
Having the Dream and neutral items. Still, though, just looking at just net worth, you can see Mick has been pressured. This Slardar Rubik lane has definitely slowed his farm down. Look at the Sven. Not pressured at all. They pushed Boxy completely out of lane 2. This is an excellent start here for Viking.
It is, which is, is something that we haven't seen so far this series. Game 1 and Game 2, regardless of the way that they ended up going. Both games where Liquid were off to a hot start in the lane. So this time around, Viking, they're going to show us what happens when they themselves actually get ahead from the off.
Especially when you have a Sven. And you have ancient stacks and neutral stacks all over the place. Look at
and Empower.
And Empower. I think this is a concern for Liquid already here. They really need to start snowballing the game early on and starting to find ways into accessing the Sven's jungle. Or we're gonna see the Sven have 2+ items on a Rick and a Zeus. And if they get to that point, I don't see how Liquid can actually do anything. They need to start ramping their movements up.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was either Lizard or Jenkins on the panel did say exactly that. Yeah, you let Viking get 2 items, suddenly how are you actually killing any of these cores?
He's going to be too tanky, and he's going to be able to access the back line. So here we see the Zeus triple null build. That's the other thing we see people do is multiple nulls with this build, so you actually do damage when you do try to rotate since you don't have bolt. And let's see what they can find here.
Those rats coming out there looking to get back underneath the tower. Boom's going to drop a Boxy there, diving the Shad. They will find it.
Okay. That's nice. I didn't think he would even be playing on the bottom side anymore. I thought he'd be playing up in the triangle. But does get spotted out. Aramis doesn't react though. We see that little orange ping on the mini-map right there. Stacking another Ancient. So what looks like a 4x Ancient stack.
Oh, is it a quad stack?
You can't stack it more than 4, I don't think, as Radiant. It's actually impossible.
Yeah,
you have to use it. Actually, a triple, so.
Yeah, it needs to, you have to get good.
It's actually, I can't stack a Radiant more than 3 times. I have such a hard time.
But
fair enough, I am a scrub now. I've noticed so many players that look. Matumba the other day too missed the stack. Yeah. Everyone's missing that stack for some reason on Radiant. It's just much more difficult than Dire. Nice again kill though. Koikva getting active, moving around the map, finds a couple bottom. Now kind of messing with the regularness of the lanes. They're starting to really break that up here.
If they can get the Surf Water arrows mid, they can. Roll in with the Inkswell.
Very nice.
It's coming in, but nothing to be done in terms of saving Aramis. Third move here, Viking, they are going to fight back now with Shaq coming in with the God Strength onto Insania. The Grimstroke will fall. Space will be there though for Boxy to surge away.
Okay. A lot of battling coming on as we expected. Lots of movements. Mickey looking to get involved in the fray with that Ion Shell, with that Grimstroke, and that Surge. He's all buffed up on this Ricky.
Yeah, looking over towards Celery now. And they're going to find him again. So Liquid, these moves, I mean, they've sort of found 3 kills back to back now with these sweeps.
They got to do this, though. That's the thing. They really do have to. Because I think if Mickey just sits top and tries to do this farming thing, he's a Ricky versus a Sven. You know what's going to happen in that case. You're going to get out farmed. So, yeah, utilize those Ion Shells, utilize that Inkswell. Look for these constant dives, look for these constant plays. Can they invade the triangle now? The big question. Can they stop the Sven from farming the stack or the Magnus?
It's already gone.
Oh, it's already gone.
Yeah, they've already done it.
Whoops.
I don't know who took it out of the 2 of them. I imagine.
I guess he must have. We didn't.
Maybe it was a split effort. I mean, either way, the gold was there for Shad to get his Midas done. He's got it complete. So.
Yeah, it looks like it actually farmed it. Looking at his farm, right? Echo Saber tried.
Yeah, and his levels as well.
Yeah, he's level 11. Yeah, he definitely was the one who took it. Whoopsies, was looking at bottom. I guess it was when the whole dive was happening, so.
Yeah, and Shab was finding action mid with the God Strength as we saw him popping it, able to pick up a kill on the Grimstroke.
Either way, same objective. They still need to find ways to be able to get into the enemy jungle. Because if Liquid starts to, if this starts to happen, this lull period where they back up and farm, Viking's gonna get more out of the map.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're not contesting an empowered Midas Sven at this point. Shad he's going to be in a very lovely place right now, picking up all that farm.
Yeah. Mickey doesn't really want to be forced to do this kind of stuff though. Like he's going to look to get involved, but he can't just literally just walk around inside the jungle either.
Sure, he still needs to
start to get something to get the defusal. Yeah. So they do have a lot of different tools though. They have the Earth Spirit, they have the Zeus, they have global potential. So he can still look to TP react pretty quickly, but yeah, this whole downtime here, Vikings loving it. They're just farming. Everyone's farming, even an empowered Slardar farming. And now they have time to make a move because they see the Ricky showing top this entire time.
Oh, will be a big one. Man, Mickey. Can they get the catch on him? They don't have the Slardar. They're going to go in with the Skewer. Drag him out with a Shockwave. RP comes out at the last moment to make sure. I mean, was there. They didn't want him to be able to jump to an ally.
They still had Cookie though, right?
They may have done so, but I think he also just... Yeah, he went straight away with the ultimate.
They got the
didn't want to stop casting the ultimate because he felt that he needed the damage. I mean, yeah, either way, as you say, you know, it doesn't really matter how much they throw to get those sort of kills on a single hero like Ricky, because as long as you're stopping Liquid from making moves, your team is happy.
Exactly.
So throw everything in on getting one hero. You know it's going to be very hard for Liquid to make plays. Even if you've used your ults, they're 4 versus 5 now.
This is where they have to capitalize, though, right? It's Magnus ult is down, Snapfire ult is down. One of their big damage things is that Snapfire ult early on, so let's see what Liquid's able to make of it. Toby's pretty tanky, though, with this drum.
I'm going to try and lead in onto the slaughter underneath the tower. Toby able to get the crush off, but Tiger and Mickey are in. They're going to nuke him out with the Thunder God's Wrath now. Mickey jumps across for another. The smoke screen down, but Slayery's out to the side. Mickey is charging in. Deep past tier 2, and Aramis, he's been able to come up with the outplay. Maybe not. Mickey will live for now with the tricks of the trade. He's away. The tower starts to punch into him. Boom comes in for the side with the skewer, and the shockwave picks up Tiger.
Mickey dives for the kill on Rubik, but gets punished. Shad shows up, gets a freebie on the Ricky.
That's a Mickey. He could have been out of there if he wanted to.
He really got greedy for the kill. I don't think he expected Shad to come from the high ground there. Just gets clapped. And they get a couple kills there. Aren't able to turn it into the tower, though.
Yeah,
and they lose Mickey again. So back-to-back deaths for your Ricky.
It's deep dives as well, you know, trying to fight right by the tier 2 tower. I mean, you definitely feel the struggles of Liquid in the sense, as you say, you know, they do have to fight. They've got to find these kills. They're not going to keep up when it comes to hitting the creeps. This is their only option. But if they don't come out on top of these dives, these pickoffs, Viking GG are just going to continue to crawl further and further ahead.
Especially when Snapfire ult was down and RP is down. Now RP is up, Snapfire ult is up, and this Magnus is level 14 with Blink Echo Saber. Level 14. It's 14 minutes.
Yeah, just Magnus things, you know.
Oh my god, boom. Just, I mean Magnus things for sure. 10 CS a minute. Again, though, Liquid relentlessly trying to push down for this mid tower. Find Toby again. Where's that RP?
Oh, he tried for a big one. He only gets the one, though. As Mickey will be fine. Insania will go down as he's caught underneath the firing line. He's going to roll back in underneath the tower, but Shad's here with the God Strength. The Soulbind on the two of them. Mickey and Koifa, they're in trouble as well as Boom skewers across.
Oh, Mickey's alive.
He is going to live a little longer, jumps out to the side somehow.
Oh,
Mickey,
my God.
I mean, that could have been an entire mess for Liquid, but somehow Mickey and Koifa didn't die despite being soulbound together, and Mickey sitting on less than 100 HP. They couldn't quite finish him, and he will live, and it's a good job he did, as if those two went down there, this game would have started to look extremely messy for Liquid.
Yeah, I think Boom got greedy. I'm pretty sure he shockwaved the Zeus instead of shockwaving the Ricky. I think he would have had the kill there, but I think he wanted to try to go for both of them because of the position they were in the fight. Again, though, like Liquid, relentless.
They've got to keep going.
Go again.
They've got to keep going, keep doing this. This is their only chance here with their lineup. They've got to fight.
Yep, they have Zeus available too, and they have that Ink Swell plus Surge plus Ion Shell, all getting ready to throw it on Mickey. They really want more.
Here's the rolling. It's not going to get the initial stun onto Boom. Telekinesis up as well. They'll commit onto the Rubik first up for the easy kill. They'll get Aramis. Skew out, stun off to the side. Tiger falls. The vacuum on 3 into nothing, though. No follow-up after Poxy's attempt of initiation, but there is the space for the tower and mid to go down. So Liquid able to clean up an objective with that trade.
A little something. Makes it easier for them to now charge in again and go for those constant relentless plays. Aramis, these little lifts too. I think like that lift was actually pretty annoying, right? Like he's trying to get this Ink Swell connection on the mag, and then it just changes everything. It gets lifted and tossed away. Space here for
keep running at
but
the
look at this. Yep.
This is what you do.
They still got Zeus ult. They still got that Ricky Grim. Toby knows something's up.
Scout it. Things out. Ink Swell timing with the blink. Patches him in it. And in fact, Aramis is going to TP in at an unfortunate time as he's caught in with the two of them. They'll burst through Aramis. Toby will manage to get out though. Now Shad, he's in with the counterplay. Comes swing around the side. The RP. Boom. He's got them on the back line. Sets up to kill all 3.
This guy's a mag player for sure. Excellent skewer blink into RP to get them out of positioning there with Celery in position 2. Always getting the counter kills, and they only lost Aramis. Toby ends up living it through that chase.
I mean, it seems sort of like Liquid with their lineup. They're trying to play the play style the Viking GG themselves are so good at, right? We saw him game 1, Viking GG, they lose the laning stage, they start making these moves where they just run at you, and then they get this incredible momentum. Liquid's trying that here in game 3 after falling behind in the lane against Viking, and it's just not working out for their heroes. They just, as the panel said from the draft, they're struggling to get the kills quick enough. There's always a chance for Viking to turn around, and the fact that Viking, they've gone for this farming / fighting with the heroes, but the item builds favoring the green.
He has a BKB already.
They can't kill it. I mean, how is this Sven ever going to die again? If he's always got the BKB off cooldown, they're never going to be able to burst him.
That has to be such a disappointing reveal for Liquid, right? It's just like, oh my god, he's got an 18-minute Echo Saber minus BKB. All your aggression that you want to do is kind of just stopped. And
what's the plan now? What's the plan?
Get your Ricky Diffusal, play around it. BKB's on cooldown. Now's your chance when maybe you can catch him off guard a little bit here, because you do have like 50 seconds or so. But yeah, I think Liquid's probably feeling the same as we are, where there's a hole in our draft right now, and they're really starting to play at their strengths right now. Viking, they know that they can just sit back and farm, and the onus is on Liquid to do everything. Liquid literally has to try to keep running at them, or they're just gonna keep falling further and further behind.
Yeah, looking at the net worths, it's already starting to feel like, where's the carry?
Look at the levels.
Who's the carry?
Did you see the levels when it was brought up too?
Oh no.
Look at this.
Yeah.
18 and 16
and 14. 12.
It's a pretty astronomical difference right now on the side.
And this is the risk run when you play a lineup that its success is purely riding on you finding action, finding kill after kill after kill. If you don't have any sort of fallback in terms of farming, you're going to struggle.
Especially when you don't have a tower pusher.
It's hard.
Like, they don't have a natural tower hitter, so let's say they do win the fights. It's really tough for them to just turn it into a tower and then look to actually dominate the jungle and take over Shad. But yeah, Shad just had the freest time possible. They've made space for him, and now he's fully online. He fully counters with
Insania.
Insania,
rest in pieces.
Poor soul.
Goodbye.
And of course, all 3 cores benefit heavily from that.
Yeah,
Magnus himself.
It's the fact that on top of the way that Viking GG are getting away with.
Celery breaks.
So they can find it. They're going to jump it up to Celery. A buyback comes out from Insania. A buyback as well from Celery. As both teams bring everyone back into it, forward, able to block the rollout attempt from Tiger, traps him in. See if they can chase down from Moxie, starting to surge away. Toby on the chase.
This is his territory as a Slaughter. They have to get out of the water. They will be able to. And look at the build. Look at Toby, knowing that it's all magic damage really on Liquid. He's got a hood, and they even give him the shawl. Sure, he has no magic damage, but he's going to be able to absorb so much from the side of Liquid these next few moments. Yeah, it's feeling pretty impossible for Liquid. Like, they can still look to make some really aggressive moves on the map, but playing around these double BKBs is going to be really hard for them to actually have anything happen.
It's just sort of, if you imagine like the graph of sort of how this game's going to progress for both teams, it's just very hard to see a point where Liquid's game is ever ahead again of Vikings with these heroes head to head. Like, when does it get better for Liquid?
It doesn't feel like it does, because even like sometimes we say like Dark Series versus anti-teammates against a wall illusion, the wall of Sven is terrible, and Sven also kills it in 0.5 seconds or something like that. So it does not seem like it's going to get easier at all for Liquid. Viking is preparing for everything that Liquid has too. It's all magic damage, double, maybe even pipes, etc. Yeah, getting harder and harder.
Oh, he's surprised with Shaddy's halfway on towards his Aghanims. You know, these items just coming out so fast. It's going to be sort of pre-25 minute Midas, Echo, BKB, Axe. Top lane, they're going to look to set up onto Boom, but he's also got a BKB.
Yeah, but now they can look to re-engage if you would like to.
Yeah, Boom's just skewering in at the 3 of them. He says, you want some, come and get some.
Yep. And the other thing, of course, is Sven, because he's so high level, he's going to get those talents online. He already has the Storm Dispels, and then he's going to have that level 20 minus 5 seconds. So I see a bunch of Yule Scepters. Zeus, the Yule Scepter, gone. Earth Spirit, you have so little ways to actually protect yourself, and we're going to see that happening. We're going to see the Sven Ag start ripping people out of Yule Scepters, ripping surges off, and just finding opportunities to chase targets down very quickly. Now a blink also on Slardar, more initiation. Yeah, Liquid's gonna need a dream of a fight where Koikfa just sits in the back lines, somehow the BKBs get baited, and he's able to just throw out his entire mana pool in spells.
Yeah, they've got to
It's
start
very tough.
hoping for Viking GG to fat finger some of these BKBs.
Yes.
That's sort of what they're going to hope for now, Liquid.
Yeah. Maybe Koikfa. I mean, like, if there's always the factor of the Zeus. If he sits all the way in the back and gets his whole toolkit off, but he doesn't have a bruiser. Where's the bruiser to hold them in the front there for him?
Yeah.
Everyone's so squishy, like the panel said, like we talked about. It's tough for the Zeus for Koikfa to sit in the back.
It's such a hard lineup to play.
Yeah, just very tough for them. Yeah, look at Mika. He's queued up a Battle Fury.
I was going to say, I think that's the only way.
Do.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's the only way. That's
yeah.
the only thing he can do. He's just got to get a Battle Fury, hope that for whatever reason Viking GG don't end the game in 40 minutes, and somehow also hope that Viking GG spend all their time running around not hitting creeps, so Mickey's able to catch up and farm.
He bought something. What did he pick up? It's just a Yasha. He's memeing us.
And I think he'll still get it.
No, he's memeing us.
Yasha Battle Fury.
No, he's memeing us. He needs a Manta, otherwise he can't play.
There's no one on his team playing Lotus for him?
I mean, it's nothing like super dramatic.
Honestly,
I don't know.
As much as he's joking about queuing up the Battle Fury, I think that would be the only... I mean,
they're in
it feels like the game is lost anyway for Liquid. That would be an item that would maybe capitalize on Viking GG, like overextending, throwing high ground pushes.
Yeah. It feels so damn hard.
It's so hard.
Let's see around the Roche pit, maybe they can get like some wraparounds. Maybe some wraparounds on the back lines and bait the BKBs could be another big play, but yeah, still extremely difficult for them. Viking so damn tanky. Sven near level 20. Magnus just hit 20, so he gets the 8 armor talent. So yeah, the little bit of physical damage that Mickey does provide is going to be countered heavily. And Sven now has Ags.
Oh yeah, here we go.
It's
Superman Sven ready to go.
Time to smoke, time to look for fights. He has just so much ease. That Stormhammer cast range is really the biggest thing. I think Lizard was the one who was talking about it. You can just stun the Zeus pretty much immediately when he shows himself, and you'll chase him. Even if he blinks backwards, you'll chase him.
Here we go.
Goodbye.
Dead, Spirit.
Yeah, those blinks, those rolling boulders, yeah, you're just going to follow them with the Sven. He's level 20 now. 5 second Stormhammer cooldown. 5 seconds of how he can gap close on top of people now. And now it's a Roche too. Oh boy, Liquid.
Nothing to be done here by Liquid. And cannot fight Viking at all outside the base. They've just got to hope for the high ground overextensions. You know, Viking, they're far ahead. Maybe Viking will get tempted into some fountain. Maybe that gives a chance to Liquid's heroes to punish them.
Nah. I kind of need to see Boom went for this Orchid build afterwards rather than doing the disassemble build. I saw that yesterday, the disassemble your
he
Echo
didn't actually
Saber.
disassemble the Echo.
He didn't do the disassemble, yeah.
Dude, he's got so much free farm, he's like...
Why not? But look, he had the components, right? He went for the BKB anyway, so he could have done BKB Orchid with disassembling the Echo Saber, but he doesn't need to. He knows how rich he is. They will find a kill here, though. Aramis, he's split away from his team. At least they're able to kill the support still, because these tanky cores still would be a big problem. But they're trying here.
Yeah, see if they can find another. I mean, they can catch them out alone. But obviously still not the cores, these BKBs. Stop them from making any sort of play. They can at least try and poke out BKB charges. A bit of a tickle onto Boom here. As Boom is getting beat down a little bit, but still has the Aegis. He's going to turn and take it over to whiffs the RP.
The BKB, it's an Koikfa. He gets kicked away by Taiga and dodges the shockwave.
All right, nice disengage from Liquid.
Toby's dead as well.
Mickey, he's picking up the kills on the backline. They roll back in with the wall down as well. Onto Boom. Boom can't get out of this. As Liquid, can they get Celery as well? No, they can't. He's out with the TP.
All right.
Some signs of life there from Liquid. Yeah, with that way they got the jump in.
Look at Koikfa's damage. This is what we were talking about. If he's able to actually sit back and do his entire toolkit, which he was able to on the Magnus, they kited him and played around it perfectly. Such a nice Yule Scepter by Koikfa to disengage. Dodge that RP. And they went on Toby at the same time. It was a nice little split move by Liquid there to catch those split up heroes.
I guess this was a fight, of course, though, where Shab was not involved at all.
He showed up at the end just to kill a Grimstroke in 2 hits.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, again.
Not really involved.
Standard contribution so far, just killing Insania at the end of the fights. But no,
a sign of life.
Liquid able to do it, and of course against the Magnisha, boom, he had that Aegis. That was through two rounds of the Mag's life pool.
Mm-hmm. That was very surprising the way they split them up there. Still, Viking in a very comfortable spot. This Sven, an absolute beast. Whenever he is turned up into the fights. I think it's rare they'll split so far away from their Magnus now. Because he was really alone on an island. There was nobody else really around him at the time there besides Toby up in north. Rune spots bottom. Will be an illusion. Mech is still growing. We're getting stronger and stronger.
Illusion.
Still has quite a bit to gain where he can actually stand toe-to-toe ever versus the Sven.
Oh, the orb of destruction for both sides. Very nice for... I mean, either of the carries. I mean, I don't know what's Shad got at the moment. The quickening charm. I guess he'll opt to keep that, even though the orb of destruction can be very nice on the Sven. You know, you're sort of leaning in with the axe. I guess so, sure. You'd rather play for the green, reduce cooldown on your Midas.
That's the one you think about, not the stun or anything.
That's why he's keeping it. Who cares about the abilities? He's got a Midas. I mean,
it's not the BKB, it's not the Stormhammer. These two important ones, it's the Midas.
That's what he's thinking about. They're saying that. I believe his Midas is off cooldown and he hasn't used it for quite some time. So, come on, Shad.
That's because of the quickening charm, though. He didn't know.
He's waiting for creeps. Yeah. There we go. Back to farming.
Yeah, the quickening charm seems okay. Your Stormhammer is going to have like a 6-second cooldown or 7.7 seconds for him to just zoom and bounce around inside the team fight, so sure. And now they're grouped up. Now they're looking for the fight. Who's it going to be that they find?
Oh, Koifa. I mean, he's the damage dealer.
Oh, Koifa. Oh, Toby.
He's got a... Is he going to... Nah, he doesn't want to go for it.
He just zooms away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lines unmapped by Liquid. They're like, push the lanes. They saw a moment of Viking there.
Radiant's top tower is
some time wasted for Viking. Look at that worth.
They're splitting up nicely, Liquid.
They're starting to get a good amount.
Yeah, during these moments where Viking's running around as 5, the Liquid are in all 3 lanes.
I'm very surprised that they're able to actually do this in the last few moments after that last fight. Mika did a good job of cutting bottom with his Manta Illusions. They're having ion shells constantly cutting the waves as we see up top. There's only one range creep or so that survived. Yeah, Boxy's trying to make sure that Viking does not hit those towers grouped up.
No, the real test will be to see what Liquid do in the fight when it is the 5v5.
Yeah.
Where Shad's here, there's 20k net worth Sven. You know, it's very, you know, it is definitely something to think about, that the Liquid are closing the gap a little bit, but how much is it going to matter when they're fighting this Sven? That's going to be the...
When they need to take a head-on, when they need to take the head-on 5v5.
Yeah.
I think the best play for Liquid really is just don't let that happen. Just get those back lines. I think it's really going to be important for Taiga as well as Mike just to get on top of the Rubik, get on top of the Snapfire, bait those kind of BKBs. They have to play really smart in these fights. It's going to be tough for them, but starting to see a possibility for them in this game. Should almost finished and get to. Viking still has firm control, but Liquid.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Small gains.
Full satanic on Shad.
He's still a big boy. They see the ion shell top, so they should expect, you know, Boxy is going to be positioned around top. So now, if they can find a fight mid or bottom, they know the Darkseer most likely cannot turn up.
But Liquid, doing a very good job of avoiding these moves. I can GG for all this effort of coming into the jungle of Liquid, going between the top and the mid lane. They haven't found an opportunity to jump.
Well, if it's one thing that Liquid does get beaten into their heads nonstop from Blitz, it is wave clear. And look at them. Look at that beautiful wave clear right there.
They're sitting back, throwing out the nukes.
Yeah, push those lanes out. Buy time for Mickey to get farm comparable to the Sven. So we see bottom. Mickey just constantly sending illusions. They're making a move now.
I say accelerate. That'll be an easy pick.
There you go.
They seize an opportunity. Liquid stepping up the plays now. Playing nice and carefully. The question is if they can get out. Stun from Shad says certainly not. To
Toby's
Insane's
in.
attempted escape. Toby, can he get any catches? Got Blink up. And Mickey and Tiger out a little too far. Won't be able to chase any further. So,
but we can. You can see how Liquid's wanting to play, right? Force the lanes in, catch heroes when they're split up. Catch heroes when they're trying to match that split push. Blitz, I think Blitz would be proud of that there, right? The stroke of fate plus boulder smash, just clearing out those creeps. Bo3, he's continuing to do his creep cutting and creep clearing with that Iron Shell. That Quelling Blade, cutting some trees, doing some fun maneuvers to get to the next creep wave. I think Viking might start being prepared for those, though, soon. We'll be able to disjoint.
yeah. If you're Viking now in this position, you know that Shad is insanely farmed. He's got this very, very large lead. Are you kind of like, well, okay, if they want to sort of split this up, we will continue to farm because we do still feel pretty confident as this goes on? Or is there a little bit of them that worries about the Riki in the late game, or do they not really care still, Viking?
I think they should still be fine. It's just always scary because you're playing versus Zeus, right? So it's like, if they ever want to go high ground, the potential of just Zeus blasting everyone from high ground is too scary. So the further lead they gain, I think they're comfortable. They'll get Aegis Cheese, they'll get all these different like refresher shards. And if they do ever get to those points where they are taking control of too many maps, you know, Magnus, they have heroes that really benefit off of, you know, refreshers, etc. So I think they should still be okay. They shouldn't be panicking at all. They're still very comfortable.
Yeah, still for as much of the farm that Mickey's been able to pick up, he still sits, you know, what, 7,000 behind that at the Sven, and, you know, easily an item and a half behind Shadow.
Really impressed with how they're splitting the map up, though, on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, they're holding on nicely, and you know that sort of 6k lead is sat there for the past 7 minutes or so. They've really managed to slow down that large advantage that Viking have been growing with their farming power. And you can see it here. Just in fact,
they've chunked it down
for longer than that, a lot longer. About 17 minutes really around this in XP as well. So stabilizing the game. Is that going to be enough to deal with Shad? We'll find out once the fights actually kick off again. We're really yet to see Shad turn up to in a big 5v5 in the second half of the game.
I mean, he's still mad. He's actually sold the Midas.
Oh,
it's an early sell. This might just be saying, let's go for Roche, get Aegis Cheese, and let's end this. I think they might be getting a little sick of getting this like split push action going on here.
Even I like a good bobble.
Yeah, and do you think that's sort of a fine call to make? Like, as you said, they are in a good place. They should be able to do this and have a pretty good shot at still running over Liquid in the 5v5s if they go high ground with Aegis.
If they have the Aegis Cheese, if they're able to jump the targets. But Liquid, look at this. Liquid's doing a fantastic job of look at the lanes. Like bottom, Tiger shows up, kicks a boulder, pulls it back. Lanes pushed. Zeus is going to ult for some information, and then back to pushing lanes out. Look at immediately Koikva, he sees the heroes. He pushes out mid a little bit. Mickey starts moving bottom, but here it goes. So Aegis Cheese is going to be claimed. Let's see if they're able to actually hold their ground now versus this.
I did pop the God Strength though for the Roche, so won't be there for the high ground push. So they'll have to wait until that one's back up. But time needs to be spent anyway, recovering the state of that bottom lane position as you mentioned. Pushing that back out.
They still got time too, right? They still have so much time with that Aegis, so he can wait till the next God Strength, and then they can look to go. They're still very good on their levels too. Everyone has halberds, right? We have halberd on Earth Spirit, halberd on Dark. So halberds with Grimstroke ult, they have good 2 ways of double disarming. And plus, just halberd, always very good versus that Sven. And Butterfly was finished up on Mickey, but there is the MKB, as we said before, on the Sven already. So he does have a preventative measure.
Pings out onto Bo3 top. The Sim pushing out rather far on his own.
Oh, did they see him for a second there?
So if they're going to hunt him, Toby tries for the blind jump into the lane, but Bo3 out in the trees and away with the TP. He'll make it out of that.
They're continuing to do a very good job of keeping the split push up without getting caught. It's very impressive. You're playing versus Slardar, a hero that can zoom across the map, like Rubik as well. These heroes, they have ways to catch, but Liquid's not getting caught out during their split push. Boom. Spots Tiger.
Tiger essentially going to roll in aggressively on this. They've got Mickey watching from the side, but they know it's a little too close to the base of Viking GG. Nothing less than a bit of a poke. They cannot commit onto that kill.
They saw 3 or 4 heroes, though. They know immediately. Back away, push the other lanes out. Look at this. Line is drawn. Taiga says go top. Take control of the top area in the meantime, while 3-4 heroes showed bottom. Again, they're splitting Viking up over and over again, forcing them to react to Liquid's movements. And now, they want to try again here to bully.
Nice, still got the Aegis and the BKB, boom.
They're trying to force that BKB so they can try to make a play, but just being careful.
See Shad, he's actually going to TP up to the top lane. Ooh. Seeing if he get in range for the stun on Boxy, but Boxy already out with the surge.
Just hugging those tree lines there, not getting caught out. Look at Liquid now bottom. Then they see two heroes show top. They're looking to try to catch something on the bottom side. Taiga.
Let's see if he can get the catch. He has. He's on top of him. Aramis.
Very nice.
Will fall.
They're doing. They're playing they're playing perfectly. Vikings kind of playing into their hands.
I will have a little bit of a pause here. I mean,
this might be a strategy pause.
I was going to say, this feels like a bit of a moment. You know, not to say that it is. I'm sure he genuinely does have lag, but this would not be a bad moment to be like, right, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, what's going on right now?
What should we do?
We're getting split.
We are ahead. You know, we've got this lead, but for the last 20 minutes, we've not been able to do anything more with it. We've got the Aegis, we've got the cheese. Where are we going to go? They're splitting us. They're pushing out these lanes. We're having to split up ourselves, push them back. What do we do?
They're gonna have to get some more clever warding, I think, down first step. I think just watching where Boxy look at Boxy. I feel like he's been in that same spot, in that same corner for 12 minutes. He just keeps ion shelling the waves, just playing around him, and they're not finding him. Same thing for bottom. Taiga as well as Mikke have just been playing down here for the last 10-12 minutes, unpunished.
Now they're gonna courier, but can they get a kill? Taiga in the trees. Toby knows that the trees have been cleared here.
Oh, he gets the blink in front of the rolling.
He is. Taiga does go for the kick away. Rolls in deeper, push to the side. They got a stun in time. Oh, Toby. Shockwave. Not quite in range. Yeah, bang on there. That shockwave actually ending up putting him in a position where he would have been in range of that crush if he hadn't been pulled to the side.
Just a little bit. It cut that one tree and pulled him up to the left. That Slaughter Stun otherwise would catch. However, finally, 39 minutes in, the tier 1 drops in 5 attacks.
Yeah, they're gonna push on. Let's see how much they can commit to this before having to respond to the other lanes. Because again, mid and top, they're right up towards the tier 2 towers.
Ooh, a leveler on Koikfa. I do believe that Viking would have really loved that leveler, but
that would have been a bit of a dream item for Shad.
They have to talk about Koikfa too much because it's just been him.
He's been AFK farming very nicely.
Yeah, he's got Octarine. He's got the quickening charm. He's got all the right tools for himself.
He's been. I mean, this is not sort of the standard farm rate for a Zeus outfit. Like he's been just 2k behind the Magnus.
Yeah,
this is some very solid creep hitting from Koik for this game.
They will not have an outpost though during these during this 40-minute mark, so that experience will go the way of Viking. I think 2 level 25s and almost a third one on the Slardar. 4,000 HP Magnus too with that Havoc Hammer. He's pretty scary. Oh, and a very nice item on a Rubik too. He has the
Shaka.
What is it called? The Timeless Relic, whatever. Yeah. Super nice for those debuff amplification. Taiga. Oh, the flicker. Okay, I mean it worked. It kind of messed up the Slardar a little bit.
And he's away.
Okay.
He's away. I mean, again, Liquid.
That's the Aegis. It's reclaimed.
Time has passed, and it does feel like Viking are still at a bit of a loss to what actually do with the power that they have.
They're just getting split. Look at this. Koikfoot pushes out mid. Top's continuing to be pushed out already. Bottom, look at Boxy. Boxy's already in position to push out the lane. Again, Ion Shells to cut it.
They're just dodging everything.
Dodging everything.
They're just sort of playing the come and get me game.
Yep.
And Viking, they're just running up and down. And they're not able to catch anyone.
They're starting to really push forward though on those towers, getting a little more confident.
Which is, I feel like this is what they need to do, right? Well, why? Yeah. I mean, why are they sort of chasing? Why not just fully commit down one lane and start going for the base? Because you do have this Godfrey 25 Sven. Like you're going to hit buildings pretty quickly. Why is it that they feel that they cannot commit for a 5-man down one lane?
It's just, I guess, it's the fear of the Sven. Oh, it's the fear of the Zeus. Sorry, it just has to be the fear of the Zeus on the high ground. There's no other real explanation for it. It's their side lanes are getting pushed. They don't want to lose structural damage on the side, and just Zeus and Sniper and Tinker, right? Those three, they're the kings of high ground. Haven't been able to find the opportunity, but now Boxy walks in, but a Zeus ult reveals them, and they can't actually get him either, and he'll Ion Shell the wave and push it out again. Meanwhile, Mikke pushes top, And Viking continues to be split up.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, this last 15 minutes or so, I think is some of the best evasive Dota we've seen from a team. Yeah, Liquid just dodging everything. The map movers, it's something that wasn't there for Liquid in the past 2 games, it feels, even in the one that they won. But this game 3, it really seems like Liquid have just sort of switched themselves on and are avoiding everything that Viking's throwing at them.
They saw Mickey for a second there, but he will be able to just skitter away. And it seems like the solution for Viking is going to be Shadow Blades. Okay. What better way to catch split pushes than Invis and run at them here? And also they give a gem to Toby. It seems like they're starting to, you know, those wheels are starting to turn inside their brain to think of how to catch people.
There's the catch.
It's just gone.
Straight in onto Mickey. I mean, you can't blame them for throwing all the ults down there. It's been such a dry period for Viking in terms of finding the blood. They've not found any kills. As soon as it gets presented, they're fully in on Mickey.
And you see how fast that lead swings. All the way back up to 11k. Aramis gets a very nice steal here. Surge in this game with his Sven, with his Slardar, with his Magnus. Now it's time for them to try to go high ground, but you see what goes on? Zeus plus Grimstroke. That creep wave is instantly cleared.
Very hard for them to get on top of Corey.
Yeah.
Just having the blink and the Yules, like who's going to make the jump? As long as he's focused on the way that they're closing in on him, he's always going to be able to blink dodge into a Yule Scepter, and suddenly the chase of like the stun from the Sven, it's, as we've seen before, not going to work again. The disrupt of the blink. Boom. Gets the pick up on Boxy. Outside of the base he goes. Does get the Lotus off on himself in time. The wall's going to be dropped down, but the BKBs are committed. Buyback. There'll be a buyback from Mickey. He wants to turn up to this fight. Boom. And Shaq focused down the Earth Spirit. Mickey, he bought back for this one. The tricks of the trade though, and the damage of the Zeus. Is it working enough?
No, he's gone.
Shaq just turns around, takes Mickey out. That is a dieback on the Ricky.
Shad the Chad holds his ground, takes him out in 2-3 swings.
And I mean, that's a dead Ricky for 100 seconds. Viking themselves, though, they did also commit with 3 buybacks here. So if Liquid can hold for this 100 seconds, there will be a window for Liquid to strike back. But that is the question, if they can they defend for 100? They do have that Zeus, though.
Quite
you mentioned, yeah, it's incredibly hard for them to push into.
Pressure now 2. I mean, his damage still continues to build up, and they cannot break the base. They will back up for a moment here. Shad, finds himself a DD. Lovely.
Okay.
Only hitting for 670 now per hit without the God Strength active.
Well, let's see. DD and God Strength ready very shortly. 1 minute still without Mickey in action.
No funny business. They have to commit forward here.
Whoa. Shad, he's in.
Doesn't BKB.
In pretty deep. Toby. The crush on Insania. They get the kill. Fortification will be popped by Liquid. A Viking, they'll turn their attention back towards the building.
There's
God Strength pop.
pop.
Shaq gonna push in, Boxy up in a couple of seconds, but still 40 now without 2 of them. Another charge forward, put the stun, he's in onto the Tiger. Tiger also down without buyback as Viking now quickly move to the top set of racks. Look to take down a second, and they'll be able to find this. Not enough damage that Quavo can do to push them back, especially with those BKBs back up once again. As I say that, they're not hitting the melee racks. Now they are. Okay, it's a little bit of a fake back. They step away, jump back in, over towards Boxy. Boxy lifted up by the telekinesis. The Darkseer is dead. Viking can finish off that top racks and move down for more on the bottom. If they want to, though, because time has been bought. Mickey's finally back in the game. But Viking, they were able to do the damage. They're 2 sets of racks up now up to closing on a 20k gold lead.
They finally have broken the base. They finally have broken Liquid's constant split push. When they are able to actually take a head-on fight, we see what actually does happen, right? That vacuum, that wall comes out. It looks pretty. It looks real nice with Tiger rolling in with the Magnetize. They just pop their BKBs. 3 hit Mickey inside of the fight. And we're seeing the actual power of what Viking has really had the entirety of this game, but what Liquid was preventing.
And Roshan, here we go, 5 seconds.
Yup.
Oh, check it out.
Moonshard eaten.
There we have it.
Shad can also eat his Aghanims if he chooses to in a moment.
Yep, he's just got more than enough funds to do so.
Yep, and what was it actually on the Roche this time? Was it a refresher? It is an Aghanims. Okay, so Toby now has an Aghanims if you would like it. The puddle, the beautiful puddle versus a Zeus would be very nice, as he can just tank those spells.
Yeah, he can just charge straight at them.
Yeah.
Sort of force the Blink Yule's reaction out from the Zeus, which will then leave him vulnerable to Shad coming with the follow-up play.
Scouting people out with this ult, trying to see if Rick is in any trouble down bottom. Lanes now, though. Now the lanes are much harder for them to just constantly do their split push action because those Raxes are taken out. The Viking.
Yeah, Liquid just very much playing now for the hope that Viking do dive a little far. BKBs wear out. Quakefer somehow hasn't been gotten on top of, and he can turn back and kick out the damage because the Quakefer is insanely farmed. He will throw out a lot of damage if he gets the chance to do so.
He just really feels like the only damage, though, right? Mickey, he's great versus those supports.
Yes.
But versus those cores, he gets eaten alive. So it really does feel like the entire weight of it all is really on Quakefer's positioning. If he's able to just kill everybody pretty much on the enemy team, Mickey just, he can't stand toe-to-toe versus these cores. They're just way too buff. And now, Toby's level 25. The talent of Doom. Corrosive Haze, undispellable. So, yeah, Mantas, etc., nothing remove it. You're always going to know exactly where those targets are if he does cast it on them. Makes the game very difficult. And he has Orb Destruction and minus 28 armor whenever he does put it on anybody if he hits somebody. So, yeah, it's back to how it was. The possibility for Liquid.
Yeah, we've pretty much seen what the last 25 minutes it's been Liquid saying, hey, we could keep this game going. We can make these split moves.
Yeah.
But the reality of it really is that the draft already was always going to be hard to play, and that before they started making those nice moves, sort of pulling Viking up and down the map, they'd already fallen behind.
Yes.
Viking, they'd already got that initial sort of flight, the power at the beginning to give them this Midas. Sven, Shad just having free farm for the whole game. It was just a little too much from that point. And now Liquid, they're just down to this last hope of the last set of racks, playing for that chance that maybe Viking throw with a little over aggression. Maybe somehow they can get Shad to charge in on someone with the stun whilst they pull him back towards the...
That's what we're thinking of right now.
That's what they're playing for.
It really is, though.
Yeah.
I don't really see a way back for them to just killing these cores. These cores are just way too strong, and they're trapped in their base now. Mickey really starting to fall further and further behind. Yeah, the actual team fight's just absolutely impossible. Those supports, though, Rubik and Snapfire, they're still food. I say that, but I mean, it's Glimmer Cape and a 4-staff and some Spidey legs and an Aeon Disc also on Rubik, so maybe not so much food anymore. They've started to pick up those items. Ooh, a DD.
Oh, well, let's be quick, though. It's going to be disappearing in 10 seconds.
They make it.
He's got it. And let's see if he wants to hang around for the second one. Nah.
Give him a haste. Haste top. Ah, it's fine. Look at that.
Right.
I was right. I was right.
Yeah, I said as well. You should have stuck around. Should have stuck around, Boom. Missed opportunity.
Always a DD and then a haste right outside the Roche pit. Just especially if Nahaz is watching, just to aggravate him. It's coded like that.
Pick it up, Mortimer.
Trying to split push again any way they can. Like we said, the illusions, the ion shells, everything, but they're really just trapped now. They cannot leave that base. These double wards placed down from Viking. Watching any attempts of movement from Liquid. Aegis, about 1 more minute left on it. See if they really start to drive that issue forward here. But they've got space to grow, right? Level 30s are still there. They're still available. They're just waiting for the opportunity if someone does show. If someone does try to nuke this lane. Don't do it, Mickey. Toby, he'll walk up. He'll see him.
Oh, there's the lead in. Mickey. He's going up. He catches both of them. Mickey's out. Tiger as well. The quick, swift jump there from Viking should be enough to set this game and Series 2 an end. Fortification will come out. I mean, Viking, they're backing up a little. Boxy's trying for the vacuum wall. They get the bug on the 2 of them, but Shad turns over towards Boxy, mate. Okay. Quakefer kicking out the damage, but Boxy straight away turned upon by Shad and Toby. Inside the base, Boom having to put the BKB. Boxy will buy back.
Did you see that? Did he vacuum him out of the Sven stun? I think he vacuumed him in midair and it canceled the Sven stun for a second. My eyes might be losing it.
We might be able to catch a replay on that. But
I've been seeing his Storm Spirits get pulled out of their zip from Vacuum.
Well, can you get pulled out of? Can you get pulled out of the stun?
You're technically, remember, Vacuum hits invulnerable targets now, so I think it actually would. I think I saw that right. I don't think I'm a, I'm not on that many drugs.
I think you're definitely right there.
It looked like it happened. Either way, it didn't change anything, but I saw cool interaction, and that's what I love about Dota. Chad.
I mean, Quaifa, he's trying his best.
Yeah, he's really.
He's trying his best to hold this off, pushing them off, using all the lightning.
Now look, I mean, those are lots of uphill misses. Celery, there we go. He finally takes it out. The Bruising Brothers hitting the tower now.
This will be the Megas.
Foxy's gonna try again. The BKB's popped though.
I mean, does mean his BKB's gonna end. Okay, never mind. Refresher. Yeah, he's got a second round of. Second one will start a full shot, but he got the god straight back up. 2 shots out. The jump in Toby committing inside of the base, whilst the rest of them have actually backed
They got Vegas. They're fine. They're like, Toby, you know what?
Yeah. Oh, he's actually out as well.
You're
BKB TP. Okay, so continue to play it safe. I think there's sort of a point of this game where Vikings like, oh man, these guys are really trying.
Yeah, what the hell? Can you guys just GG out? Like, come on, guys. Like, they're really making them work. 42,000 gold lead.
Liquid not to give up. They're holding on.
Hey,
still for that 1%, the chance that the throw could happen.
If I've seen any teams win games,
Liquid
from a 50k gold loss, it's been a team like
so
Liquid.
A 5%, that's a 5% chance. You play on for that. You play on for the 5% here. Because, last few times, sure, they've been losing their acts, but Quaifa hasn't been dying. He has managed to find these positions where he's been able to sit back.
They're trying to leave the base, though, now. Those mega creeps, they're going to start pushing in. The Stroke of Fate, it isn't revealed. Riding the surfboard out for the Earth Spirit. Going for the Zeus Toby.
They found him. They'll get him.
That's one.
That's one. They need a few more of these.
Now they got to go back and address them.
No, here comes Shadow Arrow, Mr. Farrell. McKay needs help, and he needs it now. The Lotus will be off. The RP coming in for the backside. Boom. Lands it on the 3 of them as he catches them all. That'll be Bo3 gone for 2 minutes. Tiger as well is out. Now, can Quaifa defend?
Can Quaifa do it? I don't think so.
Can Quaifa defend? He's going to try.
Oh, level 30's online.
Oh, McKay.
Oh, the Manta dodge.
Arteezy, step aside.
Beautiful.
McKay back in, goes in with the smoke screen onto the Magnus. Boom, getting low.
McKay also getting low.
Can McKay jump out in time? Another dot shot. He's dying. Quaifa's doing it.
1,500 gold to Quaifa.
Quaifa is... Dude, this suit.
But the creeps are doing it too.
The Quaifa's doing it. He's doing it. He's holding on.
Oh, McKay.
Oh, he's got someone to jump to. He's been silenced. McKay.
He's live.
Oh, he's got accelerate. Oh, he's got the bash. He's got the kill.
Okay.
Oh, he's going for boom as well. Oh, McKay, he's jumped into his death. Quaifa, he's got to come up with some sick jukes now.
Oh.
And
the creeps hurt.
Oh, they sick enough. Blink somebody second. Oh, it's there. He's out and away. Quaifa.
They're based though. The tier 4s.
Quaifa, he's there. Quaifa's on the defense.
Quaifa's got it. Okay.
Quaifa on the defense. He's holding on.
41,000. They hold for a moment here, though.
Quaifa don't care. He don't care about that difference. 6-1 and 15. He is holding on right now.
Seeing the poor Sven get caught inside the Venn diagram of Nimbus.
The one thing though, Quaifa, his damage numbers at the end of the game are going to be looking pretty hefty.
That's very true.
He's going to have a lot of damage done. As he's doing it. The defense from Quaifa keeping this game open for Liquid.
Ah, look at that damage down. 93,000.
That's a lot.
And if this tells you anything, it's how much Liquid was splitting away from Viking. Just the damage numbers. Viking is 34 to 24. They have a 40k gold lead, but look at their damage, how little it is. Because they just were split up the whole time from Liquid. But when they do punch, they punch hard.
I mean, look at this. This was when Shab went in.
Oh, the Manta.
Yeah, McKay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful stuff. And then...
All right. Now he's going for the Battle Fury. Now it's time for it to come online. He needs it for those Megas.
You need it against the Megas. At this point, you just go Battle Fury, you go Rapier. I think if you're this rookie.
I have to be inclined to agree.
I've got the double hex, so Quaifa now not only having the blink to get away if someone goes on him, he's going to have the hexes.
Ooh, another Roche though. Go through even more.
Who wants the Aghanims this time round?
I don't know, because Shad has everything. He's
probably
completely full. Oh, you can eat people.
Yeah, you can shoot the Sven in. You can shoot multiple people in.
You can shoot. I mean, you can shoot creeps in too. I like shooting creeps in personally, but
that's true. Actually, yeah.
It's less.
Shad doesn't need to be shot in. Neither does the Magnus. They're both getting their own way to the front lines. Who did they give the axe to? Rubik.
Yeah, they give him a that's smarter. As he has a timeless relic and a pressure shard as well. That they've got everything at their arsenal. Boom, not quite level 30. He's about to be.
Can Quake for defend.
15 gold lead.
Oh, they're in. Insania, he's going to go down. Tiger's going to roll forward. The Nimbus is down the front. The Lotus doesn't study the two of them. The Hex out and a boom, but boom. Still able to pop the BKB. Buyback comes out from Insania. Boom. Get the RP on the two of them. Mickey's out. No buyback on the Ricky. Starting to fire out the Mortimer's kisses. Quake's got to get back. Triple kill for Shad as he's cleaning up. The Hex from Quake's out onto the Magnus, but the jump's there. They're on top of Quake. He's got buyback. Quake's will come in with it, but they're already calling it. GG is there. The rampage will be denied. And Viking GG will finally close this one. Despite Liquid's best efforts to draw as long as possible a game that was pretty much over, it was still over.
They dragged it on for 35 minutes.
They dragged it on a very long time. They did their best there.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job of just avoiding the fights, but inevitably, I think you got to just see the power of Vikings draft. I think from the start to the finish of it, I think this draft